to the Slovak Republic. We have a dozen distinguished speakers for the conference from the three corners of the world, so to speak: India, Slovakia, Italy. The program will last about 3 hours, and I wish you a very pleasant, enjoyable, and informative program. And at the very start, let me just give the floor to my dear friend, Dr. Anna Galovičová, who has many hats, and here mainly the director of the Slovak Indian Friendship Society, also the chairwoman of the Slovak Anti-Poverty Network, and also the honorary president of the Slovak Forum of the World's Religions. Anka, please, the floor is yours.
Ahojte, drahé priateľky a priatelia. Som veľmi dojatá, že sa takto môžeme stretnúť z domova, aj keď nie je šanca stretnúť sa toho času fyzicky, ale kde nie je hmota, nie je vzdialenosť. To si teraz uvedomujem a ešte raz vás zo srdca vítam všetkých a najmä tých, ktorí ako aktívne budú vystupovať a ktorí celý život aktívne pracovali a pomáhali šíriť jogu. Mám veľkú radosť, že sa nám prihlásil aj prezident Európskej federácie jogy Amadio Bianchi, ktorého vítam medzi nami, jeho veľmi milú kolegyňu a žiačku Danielu, ktorá bude mať tiež krásny program. Vítam ďalších, ktorí ste už najmä nášho partnera Jasbíra z indicko-slovenskej spoločnosti, ktorý s nami plánuje na rôznych, a nielen plánuje, ale už sme začali zhmotňovať tie naše celoživotné myšlienky a vízie. Vítam všetkých, ktorí zapálili tisícky a 100 000 jogínov a jogistov, cvičencov jogy na Slovensku, v Európe, v Taliansku, v Indii. Vítam expertov Ajurvédy, Homeopatie a jogy a moc mám veľkú radosť, že sa nám prihlásil aj človek, ktorému môžeme z veľkej časti ďakovať, náš učiteľ, z veľkej časti ďakovať, že sme ako dokázali toto všetko sa naučiť, aj vegetariánsky spôsob života, jogový spôsob života, a je to Paramhan Swami Maheshwarananda, ktorý bude mať v polovici svoj ako príspevok o joge. A samozrejme vítam aj doktora Prashanta a ďalších z Brahma Kumariš, čo má 1 000 000 členov z Anglie, ktorý ako je chirurg a profesor bol na Cambridge a mala som možnosť niekoľkokrát ho hostiť aj v Piešťanoch a je veľmi silným odborníkom na holistické zdravie. O čo v jadre ide, tak by som chcela ako predovšetkým s vašou pomocou a s vašim súhlasom, aby ste sa pripojili k deklarácii. Deklarácii, ktorej snažíme sa, alebo žiadame, usilujeme, aby sa nekonvenčná preventívna medicína stala súčasťou nášho zdravotníckeho systému, aby sme prevencii zdravia venovali rovnakú pozornosť ako liečbe ochorení. A najmä dôraz na duševné zdravie. V tomto nás podporuje aj prezidentka Zuzana Čaputová, ktorá vie o našej konferencii. Keby nebola tak zaneprázdnená, tak veľmi rada nám odpísala, aby sa zúčastnila, ale máme jej podporu a moc ďakuje, že sme si zobrali za tému, tak dôležitú tému, ako je zdravie a preventívna medicína. Ale dovolím si osloviť Jasbíra. Samozrejme, Mário asi povie pár slov a Jasbíra potom, aby zobral štafetový kolík a potom pána doktora Bianchiho, alebo v podstate prezidenta federácie, Európskej federácie jogy, alebo jogovej federácie, že trošku by sme ako toto poradie mali. Ako.
Grazie molte, prima di tutto, per avermi invitato in questa bella conferenza. Traduci, Daniela.
Just one moment. Hi everybody, dobrý deň všetkým. Budem preložiť do slovenčiny alebo do angličtiny? Ako vy poviete? English or Slovak for me is the same, because I am Italian, so both are foreign languages for me.
I would suggest you do it in English, Daniela. What do you think?
Thank you very much. Ok. So, Mario, ti traduco in inglese.
Benissimo, benissimo, grazie. Io mi riferisco ai momenti attuali che ci stanno ancora un po' mettendo in difficoltà e facendo soffrire, e quindi parto un attimino da considerazione un poco sul Covid e sui momenti che stiamo passando.
I will start from the actual situation, so I will highlight what are the problems, or what are we suffering for in these times, and from this develop my speech.
Rimangono molti dubbi su quello che è successo, perché in realtà mi sembra di intuire che non ha capito niente nessuno quasi, e molte domande rimangono e forse rimarranno senza risposta. Vai.
We are still having a lot of doubts and questions regarding the situation that we are living at the moment, and maybe these questions will never have an answer.
Quello che mi sento di affermare mi sembra una certezza, l'unica forse, che l'umanità è stata colta di sorpresa in un momento in cui il sistema immunitario era malfunzionante o perlomeno inadeguato a questa situazione.
What I strongly believe, and I think that this is the only thing I'm sure about, is that the whole humanity have been taken in surprise, was not prepared to what is happening at the moment, and in a moment where the immunitary system and the immunitary answer was not enough developed, and we were not taking care of that.
Dato che questo è l'unico dato certo, secondo me bisogna partire da alcune riflessioni e indagini su perché l'uomo si è ritrovato in queste condizioni. Forse lo stile di vita, forse l'alimentazione, l'abuso dei farmaci, la pratica di alcune emozioni malsane, l'uso improprio del mentale soprattutto e dei sensi, oppure tutti questi aspetti assieme.
So since this is the only thing I'm sure about, from that point, I will start to ask, before of all, to myself, why this happened, why the immunitary system was so weak. Maybe because of the lifestyle, or maybe because of the quality of food that we were using, or maybe because the use of too much medicines and remedies of allopathic medicine, or maybe because we had a wrong approach to the mind, or maybe everything together.
Con amore e senza fare polemiche, né generare nuove correnti di pensiero negativo, proviamo a esaminare la condizione umana proprio nel momento in cui si è presentato questa pandemia.
With no polemics and with avoiding any tentative to develop negative thoughts, let's try to analyze what was the situation where the humanity was when this virus started to develop.
Dato che da tanti anni ho la mia vita nella sua totalità impegnata nello yoga e nella Ayurveda, mi viene più naturale partire da alcune affermazioni che questa antica disciplina sostiene da millenni. Premetto che considero lo yoga e l'Ayurveda strettamente connessi e interdipendenti tra di loro, al punto da farmi affermare con coraggio in qualche occasione che sono la stessa cosa.
Since I have been living and I spent all my life dedicated to yoga and Ayurveda, I will start from that point of view. So I will start my approach considering yoga and Ayurveda that for me are almost the same thing. I do not see a strong separation and difference between the two.
Ciò non toglie che onorerò la sacra diversità, provando ad esaminare il problema anche da altri punti di vista, sia personali, sia provenienti da altre fonti.
But of course, I will not avoid to analyze the problem from other points of view, which are the personal point of view and as well the social or cultural point of view.
Mi sembra doveroso sottolineare che il microcosmo e il macrocosmo, secondo un fondamentale principio vedico, sono in dinamica unitaria interrelazione per una infinità di motivi, anche per causa di questi tre principi che noi chiamiamo dosha.
It seems right to me to underline that microcosm and macrocosm, according to the fundamental Vedic principle, are in a unitary interrelation dynamics. And this is due to an infinite number of reasons and also because of the three principles which we call dosha.
Questi dosha sono presenti in entrambi gli aspetti della manifestazione e per conseguenza la natura esercita in bene o in male una vitale influenza sul complesso psicosomatico umano.
And the these doshas are present in both aspects of the events and consequently of the nature, for better or for worse, and they exert a vital influence on the human psychosomatic complex.
Bisogna tenere presente che inoltre che nonostante l'uomo all'atto della nascita, insieme al suo patrimonio genetico, porti con sé le sue caratteristiche di base, queste possono essere apparire modificate lungo il percorso della vita.
It should also be kept in mind that even though human, along with the genetic heritage, brings since birth its basic characteristics, and these may appear to be modified along the path of life.
Diversi aspetti, come ho già fatto notare in tante conferenze, per esempio lo stile di vita, l'alimentazione o anche in modo particolare il contenuto della mente, sono in grado di indurre cambiamenti che noi chiamiamo vikriti, atti a squilibrare i dosha o a dar luogo ad una condizione patologica.
Different aspects is already pointed out. For example, the lifestyle or nutrition, or also in particular the content of mind is capable of inducing changes that we call vikriti, capable of unbalancing the dosha or giving rise to pathological condition.
Qui di seguito volontariamente ricordo, prima di esaminare il principale oggetto di questa conferenza, che i più comuni fattori, secondo l'Ayurveda, che possono essere responsabili di un cambiamento o causa di malattia sono.
I recall before examining the main object of this conference that the most common factors, according to Ayurveda, which can be responsible for a change or a cause of disease are
Pragnya aparada, errore dell'intelletto, anche nel senso comune. Dico sempre, ad esempio, che un fumatore commette un grave errore di interpretazione pensando che il fumo lo calmi, quando, pur tenendo conto dell'effetto placebo, con estrema facilità è possibile dimostrare il contrario.
The first one is the prajna aparada, the error of the intellect. Also in a common sense, I always say, for example, that a smoker makes a serious error of interpretation, thinking that smoking calms him when, while taking into account the placebo effect, it is very easy to prove the opposite.
La seconda causa di malattia è la Satmendriya Artha Samyoga, o uso improprio dei 5 sensi, cioè usare i sensi malamente, sentire che una cosa è buona quando invece ci fa male.
The second point is the Amadio, puoi ripetere la citazione in sanscrito perché io non riesco a leggere. Sorry, I cannot pronunciate the Sanskrit as well as Amadio does. Prego.
Don't worry.
So
proprio dei 5 sensi.
Is the correct use of the 5 cognitive senses.
Adesso andiamo avanti, andiamo nel Kala Parinama per 2, poi lo andiamo a riprendere più avanti. Il Kala Parinama, le modificazioni originate dalla periodicità del tempo, se vai avanti col testo, Kala Parinama, sono le modificazioni originate dalla periodicità del tempo, sono una delle maggiori cause di malattia.
The Kala Parinama, the changes that are originating from the periodicity of time, are one of the most frequent causes of diseases.
Ok, Daniela, andiamo avanti che li ritroviamo sotto. Troviamo la Prajna Parada nella pagina seguente, che lo tratto più legato adesso, ok? Hai trovato?
Sì, ci sono. Sì.
Nella seconda parte, il Prajna Parada. Adesso spieghiamo un po' meglio questi 3 principi per entrare nella Ayurveda.
And now let's explain these 3 following principles to enter more in Ayurveda.
Il Prajna Parada, o errore dell'intelletto, è anche stato quello di scegliere ultimamente il lavoro al posto della salute come obiettivo più importante della vita e di aver scelto la quantità al posto della qualità.
The Prajna Aparada, or error of the intellect, has also been to choose work instead of health as the most important goal of life, or to have chosen quantity instead of quality.
Soprattutto quest'ultimo della quantità al posto della qualità è stato uno dei principali motivi dello scatenamento generale dello stato di ansia, e la quantità, figlia dell'avidità, non è certo il mezzo che ci può portare alla pace, alla gioia di vivere e all'ojas, dove le difese immunitarie troverebbero il massimo della loro espressione.
And above all, this point, the choice of quantity instead of quality was the main reason for the general triggering of the state of anxiety, and the quantity born of greed is certainly not the means that can lead us to peace, to the joy of living, and to the ojas, where the immune defenses, they will find their maximum expression.
La Satmendriya Artha Samyoga, o uso improprio dei 5 sensi conoscitivi, ha permesso scelte inappropriate soprattutto nel campo dell'alimentazione, abituando i nostri sensi a non riconoscere più ciò che è sano da ciò che sano non è, e anche ingannati dai sapori artificiali della chimica industriale. E come sempre si dice, si diventa ciò che si mangia, e l'uomo oggi è il risultato di questi errori.
The other one, the Asatmendriya Samyoga, or the improper use of the 5 cognitive senses, has allowed inappropriate choices, especially in the field of food, getting our senses accustomed to no longer recognize what is healthy from what is not healthy, even deceived by the artificial flavors of industrial chemistry. And as it is already always said, we become what we eat, and man today is the result of these mistakes.
Daniela, you are so good. Kala Parinama, le modificazioni naturali originate dalla periodicità del tempo. Il tempo ultimamente e le stagioni sembrano letteralmente impazziti e il nostro pianeta dà segni di grande destabilizzazione nel suo ordine naturale. Anche qui si sospetta che spesso lo scriteriato comportamento dell'uomo potrebbe aver generato qualche anormale comportamento nella natura.
The Kala Parinama, the natural modifications originated from the periodicity of time, the weather lately and the seasons seem to have gone mad, and our planet shows signs of great destabilizations in its natural order. Here too, it's suspected that often the reckless behavior of man could have generated some abnormal behavior in nature.
Insomma, si auspica che l'uomo debba urgentemente ritornare al rispetto della natura.
In short, it's hoped that man should urgently return to respect for nature.
Il coronavirus, con la sua pausa forzata, ha offerto ai più l'opportunità di riflettere e ci ha mostrato come, durante questa pausa, la natura è tornata a sorridere, gli animali si sono ripresi un po' di spazio, l'aria è ritornata ad essere più pura, l'inquinamento diminuito.
The coronavirus, with this forced pause, offered to the majority the opportunity to reflect and showed us how during this pause, nature returned to smile. The animals have recovered some space and the air has returned to being clear and the pollution decreased.
I ritmi ansiolitici e frenetici della vita pre-coronavirus hanno rallentato fino a fermarsi. L'uomo in questa condizione ha avuto l'opportunità di assaporare una qualità di vita diversa, migliore, e personalmente mi auguro che abbia imparato la lezione che la natura ha voluto notificargli. Se non l'ha fatto, purtroppo si ritornerà alla deludente normalità di prima, con gli stessi concetti malsani di vita.
The anxiolytic and frenetic rhythms of the pre-coronavirus life showed down to a halt. The man in this condition had the opportunity to savor a different, better quality of life. And I hope that the man, that we learned the lesson that nature wanted to notify to the humanity. If you have not done so, unfortunately, you will return to the disappointing normalcy of the first with the same unhealthy concepts of life.
Quando sento le persone o addirittura i governi dichiarare che a breve si dovrebbe ritornare alla normalità e usano proprio questa parola, non vi nascondo che mi angustio soprattutto se penso che tornare alla normalità significherebbe ritornare allo squallore del precedente scriteriato e malsano stile di viltà. Meglio sarebbe affermare la seguente più rassicurante frase: presto dovremmo risorgere a nuova vita di migliore qualità.
When I hear people or even governments declare that soon we should return to normal, and they use this word, normal life, normality, I don't hide from you that I worry, especially if I think that returning to normal would mean returning to the squalor of the previous reckless and unhealthy lifestyle. It will be better to affirm the following and more reassuring phrase: soon we should rise to new life of a better quality.
Per favore, togliamo provvisoriamente dall'usuale dizionario la parola normale o normalità, almeno fino a quando non saremo certi di un risveglio di consapevolezza e senso di responsabilità diversa.
please temporarily remove the word normal or normality from the usual dictionary until we are sure of a different awakening of awareness and sense of responsibility.
Please, Daniela, ask to the organizer how many time we have, because I have many things to tell, but I don't disturb the organization, please.
Majster by chcel vedieť, koľko času môže ešte ďalej hovoriť, alebo koľko ešte môže, alebo či má sa tu zastaviť, lebo má veľa vecí, čo by mohol povedať.
Anka, toto je asi otázka na teba, nech sa páči.
Daniela, ja by som povedala, lebo sú tu niektorí, ktorí majú problém s Indiou, s tým spojom, že teraz by sme dali jazbíra a my by sme radi ako potom aj diskusiu, aj všetko. Moc som povďačná a veľa mi to dalo, keď zdôraznil tú myseľ, ale teraz by sme mali aj Mariovi dať priestor, aby preložil, čo sa hovorilo. Ďakujem pekne.
Prossimo. Allora Mario ha detto che in questo momento ci fermiamo, diamo spazio a un altro speaker e a Mario che tradurrà, e poi rimani però per la discussione, perché ti ringrazia per tutti gli spunti che hai dato.
Grazie mille, grazie a loro, digli che sono onorato e felice, è la prima volta che mi rivolgo alla Slovacchia e mi fa immensamente piacere.
Thank you, Swami, thank you, Daniela, and thank you, Anna, for these precious words. Let me run down very quickly on the English version what Anka wanted to say to us, and then I will very briefly also make a summary of Swami's remarks. Anna said, I'm very touched in my heart that I see all of you at this conference. As we say, it doesn't matter that we are so physically distant, because where there is no matter, there is no distance. Welcome to everybody who have dedicated their life to precious work of the mind and of the body. And my special welcome goes to President Amadio Bianchi, Swami Saraswati, the president of the European Yoga Federation, and his colleague and student Daniela. Jasbir is a precious colleague of mine in India, making the connections between the two countries very real, Slovakia and India, and we are finally planning and realizing our visions that we've had all our lives for the countries to grow better together. Welcome to everybody who have sparked during their life the interests of thousands and millions of yoga enthusiasts, of yogis and yoga supporters and Ayurveda and unconventional practices around the world. Welcome to our dear teacher, Swami Maheshwarananda, who will join us also online a little bit later on. Welcome to Dr. Prashant and others. Brahma Kumaris has 1 million members, a yoga school, and Dr. Prashant visited Slovakia several times, and he's a great expert in holistic medicine, and he will get the floor in a bit. Very importantly, I would ask you to join me in having a short declaration with your help that will be then circulated publicly. We will circulate this later after the conference for you to read through the very short text. And our ask would be that we strive to include non-conventional preventing medicine as part of the health system, and to give prevention the same attention as, let's say, traditional classical medicine or healing methods. The conference, I'm happy to say, is supported by President Zuzana Čaputová, who knows about us, and only because she has such a busy schedule today, she is not attending our program. She thanked us explicitly in her words for featuring the important topic of health, mental health, and preventive medicine. So much from Anna. Anka, thank you very much. And from Swami, I would switch into Slovak now, from what Daniela expertly presented in English. Swami začal súčasnou situáciou. Mnohé otázky ohľadne korony už teraz máme a mnohé zostanú nezodpovedané. Jedna vec, čo viem určite, je, že pre celé ľudstvo toto bolo prekvapenie a šok, a že imunitný systém je úplne nedostatočný, aby čelil pandémii nového koronavírusu. Prečo je to tak? Možno životný štýl, možno kvalita jedla, možno priveľa liekov alebo zlý prístup k ovládaniu mysle, alebo všetky tieto faktory zároveň. Rôzne faktory môžu pôsobiť patologické zmeny a zmeny v dóša. S vámi to vysvetlil, že z pohľadu Ajurvédy sú tri hlavné faktory, dôvody choroby. Jedna je pragná paráda, chyba intelektu. Druhý faktor, správne použitie 5 kognitívnych zmyslov, najmä v oblasti výživy, strata zmyslu pre to, čo je zdravé a čo nie. Heslo, staneme sa tým, čo jeme. A tretí faktor, kala parináma, sú prírodné zmeny v prírode vyplývajúce z plynutia času, z periodicity, zmeny prírodného poriadku v dôsledku bezohľadného ľudského konania. Pričom s vami urgentne vyzval vrátiť sa k prirodzenému spôsobu života. Korona podľa neho je veľká príležitosť na reflexiu nášho smerovania, príroda si oddychla a s vami dúfa, že sme sa poučili z upozornenia, ktoré nám príroda dáva. Ak sme sa nepoučili, tak sa vrátime k veľmi zlému normálnemu stavu, takzvanému nezdravému, bezohľadnému spôsoba života. V závere vyzval na to, aby sme cez uplatnenie zodpovednosti, aby ľudstvo skoro sa povznieslo k novému životu lepšej kvality. Daniela, dobre som to spravil?
Výborne, naozaj. Práve som písala Amadiovi, že úžasne si zachytil najdôležitejšie body. Ďakujem naozaj. Fantastické.
Well, thanks for that. And we will switch right away to Mr. Jasbir, whom Anka announced as her dear friend and the secretary of the Indo-Slovak Association in India. Jasbir, the floor is yours. Do we have a connection, Jasbir?
Wait. Hello, now is it okay?
Yes, we hear you.
Yeah, you can hear. Okay, I say thank you very much. Namaste and dobre jan to all my dear friends and all the illustrious those speakers who are there to deliberate on a very important topic, which is actually the need of the modern times. And I must appreciate the efforts of Anna ji. She is doing a wonderful this job in bringing the nations together and near the people and doing something really for the humanity. As a partner and coordinator with her, I'm really feeling blessed that we have such a human also on that part of world living where she is very sincerely doing the deeds which we need in these modern days. Yes, as a practitioner of yoga since my childhood, and we know the importance and understanding of the harmony that we need to have between human beings and the nature. That is the most important issue that the world has slowly trying to forget. It's for me, I'm of a very strong opinion that well-being of humanity is directly dependent on its understanding of nature and use of nature's elements. And that is the interdependence, and we call it a symbiotic relation, which is definitely the modern day science is trying to make and understand us. But this has been very well and very broadly described in Indian Yoga Sutras and in the studies of Ayurveda and Vedic studies, which are very much humanity and human with the nature. Yes, but we cannot achieve this with this modern day synthetic life, where pollutants, synthetic fertilizers, and plastic polymers and unnatural products are part of our life. They are become our lifestyle, and we are living in it. The farmers, they want more production, and the synthetic fertilizers they are putting in their fields, and in a day or two, the crops are getting fully developed. So that is how the science and development, we cannot condemn the developments of science, but the development and the uses of science in the right direction is very much required. And its usage has to be checked, that which direction they are going. It was a very famous saying in India during the Vedas, when the Vedas were generated. You see, the Vedas exist since the humanity. That is how we here believe in. And the Vedas were never written for thousands of years before they were finally written in black and white and then put into the view of the others. The Veda was only given from the Guru to Shishya by the way of mouth sound. Only they were just taught by the mouth. That was only because the gurus or the teachers at that time, they only were searching for the one who can be real responsible, who can carry on that legacy fully, completely with responsibility and legacy. Yeah, it's not that that you are depriving one of getting educated in one thing. No, it's not that. It is that the one who really deserves, who really can carry on that forward. That education, that knowledge was given only to those people, those persons in the Guru Shishya Parampara. But anyway, now we are in a era of a grand scientific development, a development which looks more devastating even than devastation. Science and scientific development, that is all is being done these days, is with the purpose of market economy only. It has nothing to do with humanity. And this is giving huge harm to humanity rather than giving a reciprocal gain or benefit. And result we all have seen since last 1 year, the pandemic corona. Millions of people have died all over. Why? Because all the major powers of the world and the big corporates in the medicinal use, and they were trying to make one vaccine for the corona, and which was gone into the hands of irresponsible states. And that is how it leaked, and the whole world has suffered. Millions of people have died. So this is how it is happening with the modern system of medicinal cure, that is called allopathic. They are the one which are in the hands of industrialists and corporates, and their research is as advanced as anything. No other system of cure and medicine that is traditional and which was used earlier can compete with them. So they are nowhere near to them. And when they are nowhere near to them, the research work is so low that they cannot be authenticated, and they are not regularized. And that is the market economy that has put humans into danger and their lives into dangerous. And if we really calculate and assess that how it was in 50s or 40s in the last century, there were no scientific development as today. People were living simple life. They were living with the energy, in synergy with the nature and its surroundings. And they were more healthier, more happier. And now the number of diseases, if we count, they are in millions, which never existed 30, 40 years back. So, but when you talk to the specialists in allopathy and other areas, they will say, well, that time there were no data compiling, there were nothing, the records were not there. So we cannot believe whether the more people were dying or not. So they are just shrinking from their responsibility, that what these systems, they can cure you for the time being, but they will never remove the disease from you. That is how it is. So the greed to earn has destroyed the nature, and the nature has destroyed, and the nature is not looking back to you as a friendly thing. And the things like corona, they will keep on happening. it's another irony that instead of such a huge excellence in research, the modern science has not reached to even the first chapter of Ayurveda and Yoga. Thousands of years back, the human body that has been described in these ancient studies and ancient sciences, it is still not, the modern science is nowhere near to them. It deals only with human body, but no, they cannot deal with body, mind, consciousness, nature, and surroundings, and its relation with Supreme that exists in and out of every human. The modern science till date do not have any knowledge of human body. They don't know that all the human bodies, they are comprised of three other human bodies. That is the in Vedic science is called the doctrine of three bodies, the three shriras. This is the Sthul Shrira, Subtle Shrira, and the Karana Shrira. You know, and how these three shriras, they have to be in consonance. They have to be in harmony with the elements, the five elements, the Panch Mahabhuta Tattva, those who are called as that, like the earth, water, fire, air, and sky. So the whole world, as a universal law in India, it is that the whole world, the foundation of entire cosmos is laid by the five cardinal elements. No science, modern science describes this thing. We are surprised because it doesn't serve their purpose. And when it doesn't serve their purpose, so they want to ignore that. Because if everybody will try to understand, in India, still people eat with the hands, the five fingers, they represent the five elements. So eating with five hands is simply that you are trying to be harmonizing your food also, that it should go to your body and through the system, and it mixes with the system in the way it has to be. Because the elements are there which compose your body, and they are there. And these things are definitely quite essentially ignored, and they don't want to understand. That's why it's a very high need of developing the scientific result, the research in these traditional areas of medicinal cure and treatment. And the more investment in these areas will be more human friendly. The more human friendly, there will be definitely less problems which are generating out of the industrialization and unstoppable devastation of the Mother Earth and nature. So I don't want to say long because there are the specialists, those who have to deliberate, they will be definitely throwing much more and better ideas and light on this subject. So we have to make ourselves in surrounding, harmony with surrounding, harmony with nature, and keep our body as the body that has been produced for the nature. I will end my topic here. Thank you very much for the invite, and I'll be happy to listen to my other specialist partners. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jasbir. Ďakujeme veľmi pekne Jasbirovi, ktorý je tajomníkom Indicko-slovenskej asociácie v Indii. Som požehnaný, že môžem pracovať tak dlhý čas s Ankou Galovičovou na Slovensku a rozvíjať vzťahy medzi našimi krajinami a samozrejme aj otázky, ktoré pomáhajú a zaujímajú ľudstvo ako celok. Praktizujem jogu od detstva. Je to staré poznanie, že najdôležitejšia harmónia medzi človekom a prírodou a že teda zdravie ľudstva priamo závisí od zdravia a poznania prírody. Potrebujeme žiť v symbióze s prírodou, čo narušuje nezdravý životný štýl. Pokrok vedy, ktorá nie je kontrolovaná a nie je používaná správnym spôsobom a dostáva sa do rúk nezodpovedných, či už vlád alebo korporácií. Je to v priamom protiklade s minulosťou, kde poznanie v čase guru bolo odovzdávané žiakom, ktorí preukázali to, že dokážu s ním aj zodpovedne narábať. Dnes dominuje trhová ekonomika, nie ohľad na ľudstvo a lieky a výskum a vývoj sú v rukách korporácií a priamym dôsledkom je aj to, že korona má také obrovské obete po celom svete. Malo by sa investovať do výskumu a vývoja v tradičnej medicíne a umožniť týmto plodom tradičnej medicíny vstúpiť na trh, čo samozrejme nie je v záujme korporácií. Klasické lieky vás neuzdravia len dočasne, pretože sa venujú len telu a ignoruje sa staré poznanie o tom, že ľudské telo sa skladá vlastne z 3 tiel, ktoré by mali byť vo vzájomnej harmónii s prírodnými živlami. A ak bude tradičná medicína rozvíjaná lepšie a bude do nej investované, tak to bude lepšie pre ľudstvo a môže byť zastavený zatiaľ nezastaviteľná devastácia životného prostredia. So much for the Slovak summary of Jasbir's speech. And let me turn very quickly directly to Dr. Prashant Kakodai from the UK. Since 1988, he has led the Center for Integral Health, which is a Cambridge-based organization in the United Kingdom, who has a worldwide commitment to health education and strategy. Prashant, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mario. And hello to Anna, after many days, yes, missing my days in Piastini. And thank you to Daniela, Jasper, for informative talks. Right now in Cambridge, we got snow, sleet, the weather is like Slovak, so weather, so I feel very much at home at the moment here. I will speak, on well-being, and let us take this much broader subject in this. And I will also be using the flip chart. I have the arrangement here. Some simple principle in health and life. If I sit in the wrong posture, I get pain. If I change my posture, pain stops. And same thing happens at many other levels, in our emotional level, in the mental level. And let me just demonstrate what this inner posture means. You will see a whiteboard on your screen. Is it okay? And let us say our world. Let me represent our world by this image of a box. If I see the big map, the whole world, physical world, will be represented by this image. Let us say this box represents the entire world. So our country is in that box, our people that we know are in that box. Prashant is also within that box. One word that defines what is happening here, and this word is unpredictable. It comes with a label up front. It is unpredictable and everything there has an end. That is the nature of that box. So whatever you are seeing in front of you, it definitely is going to go. So there is no doubt on this. That is the way it is. It changes in front of you. It has to end. If you create even the slightest attachment there, it will give pain. Because subconsciously you will be worrying. It is change will bother you, end will bother you, unpredictability will bother you. And what are people doing at the moment? What is our posture at the moment? Our life is such, our ego, our definition of I is based upon things within that box. We define ourselves like this. We define ourselves by the body, we define ourselves by the job, various things. There are many, many things. Some may define themselves by their clothes and by shoes, consciously, subconsciously. Ego means that we are defining ourselves based on things within the box. What will be the result? Each of these ego has got many heads. It is not just one ego. Ego is based on many things. Each of these have got subconscious panic because it can die. The change will bother the ego and bothers the whole life. It is spending the life with this attitude. What will happen next? When anyone is so much in panic, his natural instinct is to survive. And that's why each of these is acting like a cancer. It wants more, more, more. It's like a parasite within the system, each ego. And this is what we have created. This world is like this at present. We all have created ego within us, and these ego are like parasites, constantly want more and more. And they don't mind to destroy anything. But very fact that we got that position, the spiritual knowledge says this is the wrong position. And we have the option to define ourselves differently. We have to define ourselves from outside that box. Is that possible? And of course it's possible. A guest who comes to your house, he doesn't define himself based on your house. He's from outside, but he is very much in your house. In the same way, we are truly guests on this planet. So we like this word, invisible traveler. This is one word. And another word we want to underline, detached involvement. The place where we want to be is this place, detached involvement. I want to be involved in this world. At the same time, I want to be free. And guest does this job beautifully. So if this is the world, guest sees himself coming here. He knows he's here temporarily. He defines himself from being beyond. That is we call that the attitude of invisible traveler. And we are like tourists passing through this. Tourist enjoys every moment he enjoys, but he is himself not from that place. In your city, in your town, tourists enjoy more than local people. So here in this consciousness, you define yourselves from beyond, invisible traveler who is passing through this world. For him, every moment is extra. Every experience is extra. The moment he comes in that space, what happens is he experiences a deep sense of security. Different mind altogether. The change doesn't bother him. There is no death for him. He is not fighting the impossible. Deep inside he knows he is going to go, just like a tourist. He is going to travel beyond. So he is immensely secure. And this is the healing energy. Just like subconscious insecurity is the energy of illness, feeling of security is the energy of health. And when one is secure, he experiences peace. Whenever someone is secure, there is happiness. Only a secure person can love. If someone makes you insecure, your love will become less. Only a secure person experiences rightness. Straight away, this is a healthy mind. All that has happened, posture has changed. He has come to the different posture. And there is no pain. There is no reason. One who is the invisible traveler, there is no reason for pain for him. Things change, things come, go. He knows he is a guest there. And Once the mind is right, everything else falls in place. The energies are different, health is different, his attitude is different. In this world, he is not approaching as a beggar. Earlier we saw when we create ego, each of these identities that are created here, they are greedy. They want more, 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 whether it is money, whether it is food, whether it is love, never content. That is like an illness, and that will reflect, of course, through the body and at different levels. When you come in the position of the guest, there is no beggar inside and there is no victim inside. In this mind, you are never a victim, never a beggar, different mind. I'll tell you one story. I know you will have many speakers today, you got a lot, so some change and some story. Yeah, I know Hannah is used to my stories, so I'll tell you one story. In this story, one insect was on the back of a pig. In a farm, there is a pig, and this insect is on the back of the pig. And this insect finds a patch of mud. So he says, wow, I got a big land. And since this is in such a good location, this insect was busy building fence and putting notices, no trespassers allowed. So one eagle comes and says, do you want to come with me? And I will show you the sky. The sky? What is there in the sky? He says, I will show you the world beyond the clouds and sun, and you will see the mountains and the valleys. I will show you the trees. I will show you the animals. You will also see this pig. I will show you this pig properly. He says, it is a great idea, but I have found this land. I don't want to just drop this land and go to the sky, but come next week. By that time, I would have sorted out this land, properly. So eagle says, okay. Eagle comes again a week later. Do you want to come to the sky? And this insect says, now I have found more land. I am busy, with building the fences, and these are rare opportunities. You don't get them that often. So you come a week later, So eagle says, okay, I'll come a week later. I want you to become the eagle. I want to show you the sky and life of an eagle. So, but a week later. So eagle comes a week later. Do you want to come to the sky? And the insect says, now I got some cracks in my land. I'm busy fixing the cracks. I myself need help here. So how can I just drop this and go to the sky? So you come again after 2 weeks. So the insect stays there and the eagle has to go to its sky. I was telling this story to some students in Oxford, and one student said, I am at the 3rd level, she said. I am fixing the cracks. I am at that level. That is my life. And another student said, I am doing PhD on cracks. Now, what is going on here, this story shows 2 levels of our consciousness. There is, insect is also busy, having success and progress, and it is getting land. It is busy. And eagle has been its life busy. But eagle will never choose to come to that level of the insect and settle down to that land. There is no comparison, life of the eagle and life of the insect. Different life altogether. Human beings, we have got these options. And the life is going on. All human beings are going on. But we have the option of a shift of consciousness. At both consciousness, they all are alive. They all eat and they manage somehow. But no comparison to the life. What we are showing here, ego-based life, is that life where you are caught into some kind of pettiness. you think there is progress and you think there is success and you are comparing with others and you are building fence. That is going on at that level. But we have the option to discover another game altogether. Here we are using the word guest and it appears very simple. But once you come out of this gravity of the ego, you are discovering different potential, different option for a human being. And in fact, that is normal for human race. To be awake, to discover our immortality, to discover that sky, that is normal for us. And be a guest on this planet in this temporary level. Be the honorable guest, not a greedy guest, not an uninvited guest, but a honorable guest who has no intention to grab and destroy this planet. But he comes as a guest, he stays with inner fullness and interacts with this, but also knows about super sensuous experiences and immense richness that is very innate and inherent. Maybe I'll stop here, just, as we said, you have many speakers and it will be very rich conference. I wish you all success and greatly appreciate humility, always appreciated humility and the virtuous life of Ivan Malik. Thank you.
Prashant, thank you. Thank you very much. Ďakujeme veľmi pekne Prashantovi Kakodajovi, ktorý už je celé roky od roku 1988 v britskom Cambridge riaditeľom Centra pre integrálne zdravie, viackrát navštívil Slovensko, dobrý priateľ spoločnosti slovensko-indického priateľstva. Keď zle sedíme, spôsobí nám to bolesť. Keď máme zlú pozíciu voči životu, čo to znamená? Znamená to bolesť. Škatuľa predstavuje, ako často definujeme sami seba. Zadefinujeme sa dovnútra sveta, ale svet je nepredvídateľný, svet sa mení a všetko má svoj koniec. Takže akákoľvek naviazanosť na dočasné a konečné veci spôsobuje bolesť. Treba svoju pozíciu zadefinovať mimo škatule. Treba byť ako host, ako turista na planéte. Detached involvement, zapojený s odstupom. Čo znamená zapojený s odstupom? Ako turista, ktorý do sveta prichádza a zo sveta odchádza. Každý moment si užíva. Na nič nie je viazaný. Potom vyplýva z toho energia zdravia. Host sa cíti bezpečne, človek sa cíti bezpečne, pretože nebojuje s nemožným. Len pokojný človek dokáže milovať. Je to antitéza života v egu. Život založený na egu je život nepokojný, bolestný, bez lásky, ziskuchtivý a ničiaci. A preto máme šancu žiť iný život. Keď je myseľ v pokoji, tak je všetko v pokoji. Takže Prashant, veľmi pekne ďakujeme. Thank you very much, Prashant. After all that has been said, I'm still amazed we're only 15 minutes late in the program. And in this vein, I would like to encourage our speakers to stick to the 15 minutes and maybe less to allow me for a few words of translation later for the Slovak audience. Our next guest is Dr. Kashinath Metr. He is the head of Ajurvéda and naturopathy in the World Yoga Institute in Jammu and Kashmir. Dr. Metr holds a PhD in yoga from the Swami Vivekananda University in Bangalore, and he's also the assistant professor at the Central Rajasthan University in Rajasthan. So, Dr. Metr, Kashinath, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Namaste to all of you. Thank you for interaction, and especially thanks to Dr. Prakash ji for such a enlightening talk. So this philosophy is talked in Bhagavad Gita. It is such a complicated philosophy. This state of Jivan Mukta, what Bhagavad Gita says, that you have very nicely and in a simple way you have explained it. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. So today I have prepared some talk. I would like to share my screen to all of you. Am I? Yeah. So hope this is visible to all of you. So most of you, I believe that you know the Ayurveda, but still I just, so some of you maybe not. So Ayurveda is science of healthy living and healing. So whenever we say Ayurveda, what comes in front of our eyes is some massage, some herbs, and some kashayas, isn't it? But this is not that. Ayurveda is a science of healing. It is a science of healthy living, isn't it? So Ayurveda consists of two words, Ayu and Ved. Ayu is the life. Ayu is living. And Ved is the knowledge. Ved is the wisdom. So what is Ayurveda is, it is the knowledge of healthy living. And if at all there is a disease, it is a knowledge to cure that disease. Okay. Now Ayurveda defines health. So this is the definition of the health from one of the very famous texts of Ayurveda, which is Shushruta Samhita, which defines Samadosha Samadnishcha Samadhatu Malakriyaha Prasanna Atmendriya Manaha Swasti Ityabhidhiyate. That means this is a very comprehensive definition of health, isn't it? So there is no definition of health, I believe, in any texts as comprehensive as like this. So it says that Ayurveda is a state of balanced doshas. Okay. So of course they have their own parameters of assessment. So one of them is doshas. It is a balanced state of dhatus. It is a balanced state of Agni. It is a balanced state of Malas. Okay. In addition to that, a person should have a very tranquil state of mind, very pleasant state of mind, a mind which is open, receptive, happy in its real place. That is where Patanjali says Swadhisthana. So we are in us, okay? And mind and senses are also in a tranquil state. So this is the state of health. So health is a state of balanced parameters, what Ayurveda talks. Now what is disease? Disease is imbalanced state of doshas. So here more importance is given to doshas. I believe all of you know we have three doshas, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Now what is this dosha actually? So dosha is not a physical entity. It is the subtle energy. Okay. The yoga philosophy called it as prana. So this physical body is governed by a vital force, energy. That energy is prana according to yoga, and it is the dosha according to the Ayurveda. Now, whenever this dosha is in a balanced state in our body, it sustains the life. It helps to grow. It helps to maintain the well-being. It helps to maintain the normal functioning of all the organs. And the same doshas, whenever they undergo imbalance, then they destroy this body. Then they leads to the disease of the system. Hence, vikaro dosha vaishamyam. Disease is an imbalanced state of the dosha, and the balanced state of dosha is health. Okay, and this dosha is energy. Now, on the basis of function, this energy is classified into 3 types: Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Now, the energy which is responsible for all kinds of movements, the grosser movements, so I'm moving my hands, I'm blinking my eyes, I'm talking, my tongue is moving, isn't it? All these grosser movements are because of Vata. Now, inside my body, there is a physiology. So my intestines, there is a peristalsis movement. The heart is beating. The blood vessels are relaxing and contracting. The blood is moving from my heart to the different parts of the body. Okay, so that is also a movement. Even that movement is because of Vata. Now, when you go to subtle, now there is a cell. Now inside, now cell is taking glucose. Now cell is giving out waste products. Cell is taking oxygen. Cell is giving out carbon dioxide. So even the cellular transaction, cellular transport is also a movement. Now this movement is also governed by the Vata energy, the Vata dosha. Okay. Now the next type of energy is Pitta. Now Pitta governs all the metabolic activities in the body. We eat, we digest, we absorb, and the absorption goes into the blood, and from the blood the energy is again converted into the fat gets separated, the carbohydrates get separated, the minerals, the vitamins, the fibers, they get separated. Now who is doing all that? That is being done by a lot of chemicals inside our body. So this is the process of metabolism. Now this metabolism is governed by Pitta energy. So any variation in the Pitta energy, any imbalance in the Pitta energy leads to the imbalance in the metabolism. Similarly, we have a Kapha energy. Now Kapha energy particularly look after the growth of the cell. How much a cell should grow, where it should stop, and when cell should undergo apoptosis, how to eliminate the cell, now how to replace the cells with the new cell. This is governed by Kapha. You might have heard the cancer. So cancer is the disease of all doshas. There is a problem with the growth of the cell. There is a problem with the metabolism of the cell. There is a problem with the movement of the cell. So in many chronic disorders, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, all 3 doshas becomes imbalanced. So then we actually develop chronic disorder. In acute disorder, it is only one dosha which got affected. It is either Pitta or Vata or Kapha or 2 of these. Okay. So this disorder is imbalance in the dosha. That means there is an imbalance in the functioning system of the body, imbalance in the movement, or imbalance in the metabolism, or imbalance in the structure of the tissue. This all together is the disease. Now, Ayurveda identifies 3 basic causes of the disease, how this disease in the body takes place. Now, why it is so important for us to understand the cause of the disease? Because if we would like to, we all wants to maintain our health, we all wants to progress, and we all wants to be healthy. For that, you have to be aware that what causes the disease, isn't it? Because Ayurveda says nidana parivarjana, that avoidance of the cause itself is the treatment. Okay. Now for that we should know what are the causes. So Ayurveda identifies 3 fundamental causes. So I am happy to see one of my earlier speaker has already shared this information, but still I would like to put my thoughts on that. So the first of them is Asatmendriyartha Sanyoga. So Asatmendriyartha Sanyoga is nothing but is an unhealthy lifestyle. Now, whenever we follow an unhealthy lifestyle, when we say unhealthy lifestyle, it is an unhealthy diet. Now, unhealthy diet is in terms of either it is a quality, the wrong quality of the diet, because nowadays we are using all sort of unhealthy stuff. We are using a lot of refined stuff, refined salt, refined flour, refined sugar, isn't it? So all this is the unhealthy quality of the food. Then the quantity should also be adequate. So we are either eating a lot or we are eating. So that is the problem. Then, hello. Then in other terms, in the other condition is inadequate physical activity. So either it is an inadequate physical activity or it is an excess physical activity. So all these things leads to imbalance in the doshas. Similarly, there is a lack of sleep or excess of sleep. So some people sleep a lot and some people sleep less. So that leads to asatmendriyartha sanyoga, or which is the part of the unhealthy lifestyle. Okay. Then the next cause of the disease, according to Ayurveda, is a pradnyaparada. Pradnyaparada is a mental afflictions. So stress, anxiety, depression, hate, jealous, addictions, boredom, okay, anger, all these mental afflictions, all these mental wrong, unhealthy emotions also cause of the disease. They are also cause of the imbalance in the doshas. Then the third is parinama. Parinama is because of the external factors. Infections, accidents, animal bites, natural disasters, life events, all those are the parinamas because of the external factors. So these are the three fundamental causes of the disease. So we have to take care of these in the sense we have to avoid these things. Okay. So for that, Ayurveda recommends the lifestyle. Ayurveda recommends the lifestyle for maintaining a healthy state of doshas. Now, what are these recommendations? These recommendations in terms of dinacharya. Dinacharya is a daily regimen for a person to be healthy and to promote his health and to maintain his health. What is required is he has to maintain his daily activities, healthy activities like cleansing methods. So Ayurveda describes very nicely that how to cleanse the teeth, how to cleanse the mouth, and how to take the bath and all that. Ayurveda also recommends the good eating habits. It also recommends the good behavioral habits. It also recommends the sleeping methods. So how to sleep, where to sleep, and how long to sleep, all that, and when to sleep. Then Ayurveda also recommends the seasonal regimens. So in a specific season, we have to change our diet. So eating the same diet throughout the year is not a healthy practice. So there is a specific diet for a specific season, because the season, the day and night, all these factors actually have an influence on our doshas. So in cold season, the kapha gets aggravated. Then we have to adapt the regimen which can reduce our kapha. So in the summer season, our pitta and vata gets aggravated. We have to adapt the lifestyle. We have to adapt the food habits which actually can help to reduce pitta and vata. Okay, so this is how Ayurveda recommends all that. Now, I would like to end my presentation with sharing two studies that we recently did. We did one scientific study using yoga and Ayurveda, using Ayurveda Panchakarma and yoga therapy among 30 women who had polycystic ovary disease. So they all were having the cysts in their ovaries, and such women we called and we gave them Panchakarma. So Panchakarma is the Ayurveda treatment, and simultaneously we also taught them yoga therapy for 3 months. Okay, and after 3 months, what we found that the TSH, the thyroid function, the prolactin hormone, the blood glucose level and the AMH level, anti-Mullerian hormone level, which is the significance of cyst, ovary cyst. So they all got better. In addition to that, their depression level, their stress level, their anxiety level also reduced. So this is what is the very fantastic results we got after doing this scientific study, and we published in Journal of Stem Cells. Similarly, we also did one case study, single case study, who was, it is a 34-year-old woman who was suffering from the gallbladder stone. So she had gallbladder stone, and we interacted with her, we checked her prakriti, and we recommended a specific diet for her, and which is based on Ayurveda, of course. And we also gave her Ayurveda treatment. Okay. Now she underwent Ayurveda treatment and a specific diet for 2 months. After 2 months, her all the reports got better. Reports, she symptomatically also she felt nice. You can see here the bilirubin level, the SGOT, her liver function, everything got improved after 2 months. And her jaundice become nil, her itching, vomiting, nausea, bloating, abdominal, all which was very severe in the beginning before the treatment, all got better after the treatment. So this you can see the change in the jaundice. So this is what, so Ayurveda and yoga are the So Ayurveda and yoga will be the future medicine. Okay, so we all should get motivated, and we should engage ourselves into actively how we can promote Ayurveda, how we can promote yoga, so that whole humanity get benefited out of it. This is what was the intention of our ancestors. So all the Charaka, Shushruta, Patanjali, what they wanted is they wanted to convey this science to everyone so that they get benefited, and they get they should live a healthy life, and they should lead towards the moksha. That was the objective of those sages. So with this, I would like to stop here. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Dr. Metri, Kashinath, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the presentation. Ďakujeme veľmi pekne. Doktor Metri je expertom na Ajurvédu a naturopatiu na Svetovom inštitúte jogy v Jammu a Kašmíre a má PhD v odbore yoga na univerzite Swamiho Vivekanandu v Bangalore. V úvode veľmi pekne ďakujem Prašantovi Kakodajovi za veľmi jednoduché a veľmi krásne vysvetlenie zložitej filozofie. Priblížil základné koncepty ajurvédskej medicíny. Ajurvéda považuje zdravie za rovnováhu dóš alebo typov energie, troch typov energie, dhatus, agni, malas a takisto pokojný stav mysle, duše a zmyslov. Nerovnováha medzi druhmi energie, dóšami, je choroba, ich riadne fungovanie je zdravie. Následne sa venoval 3 základným dôvodom choroby, ktoré naznačil už Swami Sarasvati v úvode. Nezdravý životný štýl, či už nezdravé stravovanie, nedostatok alebo priveľa fyzickej aktivity, alebo nedostatok alebo priveľa spánku. Po druhé, mentálne postihnutia, stres, obavy, depresie, závisť, nuda, závislosť a podobne. A tretí dôvod, hlavný dôvod choroby, externé faktory, či už infekcie alebo nehody. Pričom Ajurvéda odporúča denný, ale aj sezónny režim na dosiahnutie zdravia. V dennom režime predpisuje metódy na prečistenie, jedlo, správanie, spánok a takisto sezónny režim, v ktorom treba adaptovať stravu, aktivity aj procedúry konkrétnemu ročnému obdobiu. A na záver prezentoval doktor Metri vedecké štúdie, niekoľko vedeckých štúdií a predstavil Ajurvedu a jogu ako medicínu budúcnosti a poznanie, ktoré by malo byť dostupné a priaznivé, zlepšujúce pre všetkých, pre celé ľudstvo. So again, thank you very much. And we have a special guest now who has just joined us over from India. It is Vishwa Guru Swami Maheshwarananda, and he is the author of the yoga system, Yoga in Daily Life. Swamiji, it is such a pleasure to welcome you at our event. And of course, the floor is entirely yours.
Omkarabindusayuktam manityadayanti yoginam kamdam mokstam sevam traya namo namaha. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Jnanamulam Guru Murati, Puja Mulam Guru Padam, Mantramulam Guru Vakyam, Mokshamulam Guru Kripa. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti. Good evening, all dear sisters and brothers, and our dear sister Anna, Anechka. Which language should be? Czech, Slovak, Austrians, etc. The Anna, she is my disciple from many, many years, and she has worked and working very hard for the doing for the whole world, for the people and for also animals and everything. You are my dear brothers, sisters, here you are today. I respect you very much, and I said, Om Namo Narayan, my dear all, thank you. Yoga is a science of the humans. And that science of the humans is the first to know the entire whole our body. Our body, it's not forever, but God has given everything what we can achieve, and through that we can come to the Parabrahma or cosmic self. Yoga is just a yoga. But there are many our dear yoga teachers, yoga schools, yoga ashrams, and different kind of practicing about yoga. But all they are all, we are one together. The yoga is beginning from the Shiva. And before that Shiva appears himself, it was that from these 5 elements, and before that it is the cosmic and the conscious. And these two, in that which come 3 principles, and that is Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, etc. All this that I will not talk to take your time, all my dear sister brothers here. But first we have to purify our body. And first is said that we have to Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, and Anandamaya Kosha. And in this first is Annamaya Kosha. And in Annamaya Kosha is our body, and all in our body which we have, God has given. My dears, if someone think about God or you don't want about God, it is different. But God is one. We are telling my God, your God, and their God. Yes, that's right. And that all our God is that one. And there it is said that prana means living beings. And living beings, there are not only humans, but all different creatures, animals, even the water. Water has a life. Voda Jivot, it said in Czechoslovakia, where our dear Anichka brought you there. And so, therefore it is said, the human comes in the conscious there, then he or she should not kill any creatures. Yoga is not only physical, like only asanas, pranayams, and little bit concentration and this and that. So I'm here 52 years here in this countries, Europe, America, Australia, New Zealand, and many, many countries everywhere. And here, mostly, I am here. There, when I came, many people had a yoga, but they did not know more anything. But now you can remember, my dear brothers, sisters here, I don't know from which country you are. I wish you all the best, good for you. But here, first I was, that time it was a communist. And I came there 1973, here in Czechoslovakia and this. And from there, people did not want to know to eat meat and this. But I brought that. And now many, many people are vegetarians. And when I came to Czechoslovakia, let's say this country, that time, and was they didn't want to believe anything. So I said, yes, that's think you what you believe, that I believe. They said, what? And they said that no religion, no politics, and no taking money or gold or anything. I said, this is, as a sannyasi, sadhu, we don't need these three things. They said, oh, you are great. And then we begin to come to yoga practices. So we gave the name Yoga in Daily Life. So yoga in daily life. Do everyday yoga practice, that's the name. And through this, we have thousands and thousands of people here in these countries, and they are very good practicing yoga in daily life. There are many, many techniques, you know more. Many, you are great people here, they will be more than me. But I can tell you, my dear, yoga is the yoga. But yoga, if we are doing, then we should know what we eat, what we drink, what we are speaking. Morning when we get up, first yoga. Morning when we open our eyes, then just I'm telling my all disciples and myself, when I wake up and open my eyes, I said, I am a human. Second is my yoga. Second, when I get up from the bed, then I said, oh, Mother Earth, may I step on you. And the third, go to bathroom and touch first time water. When touch the water, in the whole systems in the body, everything, it comes very, very nice energy in the body. Then we look to other, how to do. What do I do? So like this, my yoga in daily life is not only physical exercises, but there's a completely about this Kundalini and this and many, many things there. I don't want to take your life, my dear, my friends. So yoga in daily life is for the whole world there, and many, many, and our dear Anna, our dear sister, my disciples, my sisters, then everything, and there are all many sitting here, you are. Some I think I know them. I'm very happy to see you. Practice yoga, but three things, leave it. No alcohols. It means all no drugs. Two, do not kill any and not eat that. And the third, don't negatively. If someone tells someone anything, then Jesus said, if someone takes or slap on your this right side of your face, then please give your face other side too. Similarly, if something is negative or hate or anything, you heard, you got it, you should swallow it and clean it. Don't tell someone's backbite, and then is a negative, then is no any yoga practice, no yoga. So yoga is called oneness. Yoga means you and me, we are one. So all yoga, your class you have ashrams, you have your gurus, you have everywhere, and I respect you very, very much. We are the God disciples or God's son. My dears, I'm so happy to see you, and I'm sure you will give very important and very good and very beautiful lectures, and that will be good, that we will follow you, what you are telling us. And Anna, once more, have a nice time, and because I have now lecture. Now I have a lecture in half hour, and I have to go to the lecture there. Like this year, I'm here about 7 months in Czech Republic, and because of the corona, and this corona have done something good and bad. And good is this, that all went to their home and all family came, and evening they were together. So it all again come to the family, that we are friends, mothers, fathers, husband, everything. Others, of course, was difficulty. And I put I asked around the whole world, my yoga in daily life. I asked them, how many you are vegetarian or the vegan? And 95%. No, my disciples, no alcohols, no meat, nothing this. And also my dear Manichka, she also not take any alcohol and nothing. And she's a very pure, she's with this other color, but she's like a sannyasi. And it has a power. So in this way, please, my dear brothers, we should not kill any animals. And humans also not. We are only the children of the God. I wish you all the best, my dears, and have a good time and good home. And maybe one day God will bring us again together and we will be there. Thank you. Yoga in daily life, all yoga. But that yoga real in the heart, what I am doing. And then pranayama is very important, very, very. And Vajranadi, those who want to turn the yoga. And if you don't know the Vajranadi, we should bring Vajranadi is like a roots, trunk, and the whole tree. And that is holding is the Vajranadi. That I don't want to take long. You will know, or others one will tell about Vajranadi. That's very important. Naham karta prabhudeep karta maha prabhudeep karta hi kevalam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Dear sisters, brothers, Hari Om.
Thank you very much, Swamiji. I am very touched. I am very happy that you found time also for our online conference and that we are in oneness. Thank you very much.
Very, very beautiful and very, very, all will be happy. Thank you.
Let me thank you again, Swamiji. That was Swami Maheshwarananda, the author, founder of a yoga system, Yoga in Daily Life. Thank you also for supporting everything you do in Slovakia and around the world. And let me turn into Slovak to give a brief synopsis of what you shared with us. Swami Maheshwarananda, autor jogového systému Yoga v dennom živote, je dlhý čas, od 70. rokov, priateľom Slovákov, Čechov a Československa. Anička má špeciálne miesto v mojom srdci, celý život zasvetila ľuďom, zvieratám, Moja úcta ide vám všetkým, ktorí ste tu, stovka ľudí zhromaždených na takejto konferencii. Yoga je vedou ľudí a prvou výzvou jogy je poznať svoje telo. Je to dočasná schránka, ktorú nám však Boh venoval, aby sme realizovali svoje poslanie vo svete. Je mnoho škôl jogy, je mnoho rôznych náboženstiev, ale je jedno ľudstvo. Hlavnou výzvou je vyčistiť si telo, vyčistiť si mysel. Boh je jeden. Aj keď hovoríme môj Boh, aj to je pravda, Boh je Bohom každého. Som tu na Zemi 52 rokov. V roku 1973 som prišiel do komunistického Československa. Vtedy nechcelo veľa ľudí počúvať. Teraz načúvajú. Teraz sú tisíce ľudí vegetariánmi. Vtedy nechceli veriť ničomu. Dnes mnohí z nich veria. Povedal som, verte, čomu chcete. Yoga v dennom živote začína od rána, otvorením očí, kedy si poviem, som človekom. Keď vstúpim na zem, pýtam sa, Matka Zem, môžem na teba vstúpiť. A potom, keď idem do kúpeľne, pustím si vodu a voda je životodárna, voda podporuje tok energie v našom tele. A yoga určite nie je len fyzickou aktivitou. Je tu pre všetkých a pre každého. Tí, moji učeníci a všetci, ktorí praktizujú jogu, žijú bez alkoholu, bez drog, aj bez mäsa. Nič nezabijú, čo nezjedia. Keď vám dajú facku na ľavé líce, otočte im pravé. Neodpovedajte negatívne. Na koronavíre je mnoho dobrého a mnoho zlého. To, čo je dobré, je, že všetci sú doma. Rodiny sa opäť zišli, sú spolu. Yoga je jednota. Moja úcta vám všetkým. Sme deťmi Boha a sme učeníkmi Boha. So let me turn into English now and introduce Daniela Laudani. She had her time with Swami Saraswati with a very able English translation that enabled us to make a bridge between Italy and Italian and Slovakia and Slovak. So Daniela, you have been an expert in these matters, and you have prepared a presentation on exercises for seniors during a walk, and perhaps there are other aspects to your work that you would like to share as well. The floor is yours, please.
Thank you very much. Just before the start, I think that the time is shorter now, so I will try to really to say what I would like to say just in few words, and of course I'm available for sharing my experience. What I'm going to speak about is development of a practice that we have done in Sardinia. I live in Italy, I live in Sardinia, even if I lived in Bratislava for a long time, and this is the reason why I speak Slovak. Few years ago, I studied for a master in neurosciences, and I made my thesis on the development of the adult and seniors after menopause and andropause. So let's say the beginning of the third age. And the thesis was called a proposal to grow mindful. So we always focus on children, we always focus on young people, but why we cannot focus on people that spent almost their life, but they still have a life that, as Amadio said, is not going to be a quantity of years, but a quality of years. So this was my, let's say, experience before the COVID-19. I teach yoga in Italy, in Sardinia, and I work daily in the shalas. And of course, during COVID, as it was in Slovakia, we had to switch on online yoga lessons. And with a big surprise, young people were used to that. So it was very easy for my student to switch on the Zoom lesson, Zoom classes. But with older people, it was not so easy. And considering the fact that almost all of them are divorces or widows, and their bodies are not used to look at the computer or a phone and work online, I was really in trouble to follow my students. And since in the thesis, I was developing the necessity to link with nature and to stay in the fresh air, I proposed, this was at the beginning a proposal, I proposed to practice yoga in the nature. Of course, we can do that because in Sardinia the weather is nice. And this was the start of what I called, after the few first lessons, what I called walking yoga. The problem was that people in the houses were suffering of no activity. They were not moving the body. They were not breathing, and their mind was stick in front of the computer or of the TV. So, and I will share some pictures with you to show what was the development of that. I invited the seniors to come to the park and to start the practice in the park. And with my big surprise, there was a success. I was not expecting that. And because I don't like the pollution of yoga, integral yoga style, I translated the entire lesson in the park, on the floor, under the tree. The lesson was structured in the first part, where we met under what I call the chat tree, so the tree under which we can chat. And since the seniors are not so, let's say, used to chat on the social media, the existence of the yoga tree was the possibility to exchange thought, experiences, or just to talk, because they are in their houses and they were not allowed to see nephew or to see other part of the family. And under the tree, once the lesson started, we chanted and we started the practice. Let's say the vision of the yoga walking was be together, be green, be yoga, and simply be. So we were invited to focus the attention on the breath, on the posture, on the body perception, and then the final relaxation. After the chat tree, we started with pranayama session. And after we moved to different part of the park that I will show you because I collected picture just to share with you. And we did standing yoga asanas, just the normal yoga sequencing that I do in a shala. And after that, we moved to another place where we had the possibility to relax. So it was really a very calm place. And after the relaxation, since we were on the top of the hill, we could go down, and I invited, and this was a rule, after the few first lessons, this became a rule. We had to talk about the new. So they were invited to see something new and to show it to the new friend. So, for example, let's turn to the right and see the new color of the sky, or let's walk and find something new on the tree. And at the beginning, they were very embarrassed, but then they started looking for something new, or to see with new eyes what was already old. There was a second rule that was not clear, but this became as well a normality. It was to be flexible, to accept and to adapt the day-by-day changes. And not because we say that this is okay, this is perfect, just because according to the situation, as a part of our life, as part of our bodies, that is not so flexible as it was when we were young. As well, we have to accept that the reality is what it is. And this was an experiment, let's say a trial that I did with my students. And I would like to share with you what was the result. And they really enjoyed it. And I think that I'm going to propose it for the next times, because we are no longer going to be closing a shala. They don't want to go back to the traditional shala because they think that nature is the best place where they can practice. Of course, it's cold sometimes, but they wear something. And I think that this is online. With what we are now, I mean, beyond the nature, reestablish our connection with nature, and move from closest environment to the open. So if you allow me, I would like to share my screen, just a few pictures where I can, please tell me if you can see my screen. If you can, is it possible to see the screen? Okay, I think that, okay.
Yes, we see.
Okay,
Yes.
so you can see this is the top of the hill where we can practice. This is one. Then this was the, between the two lockdown, we went on a boat and we made pranayama on the boat. This is under a tree in a small forest that we have. And this is what I called the tree. This was where we started, and here we came to practice. And then when I said that we were in a place where we could lie, we found a place in the park where we could lie, and we lied here for the relaxation. I do not have numbers. I mean, I didn't look at my students as in numbers to show the results, but when I see their interest to practice under the nature, I think that this is a big moment. They are all, it's from 65 to 78. And if, for example, the right person that you see in the center of the picture, he has 78 years old. And he found a girlfriend in the class, and he's one of the most active members of the group. So this is only my experience. I just wanted to share with you this, and of course I'm available for, let's say, sharing my sequences, which are normal sequencing, yoga sequencing. It was just moving from one shala to a big shala that we all have, and that is the nature. Thank you.
Daniela, thank you very much. Is it all from you, or would you like to continue?
It's all. I just wanted to squeeze my time, so this was the most that
it
I
is
can
so
do.
great of you that you are conscious of the time. There were some great pictures. Did you put them on Facebook or on somewhere publicly?
Some of them are in the article that I sent to Anna, that I really thank you for this experience. And yes, they are on Facebook as well.
Excellent. They would make for some wonderful profile pictures. Congratulations.
Thanks to you. Really, thank you.
Veľmi pekne ďakujeme Daniele Laudani, kolegyni a žiačke Swamu Saraswatiho. Daniela žije v Sardínii, na Sardínii a niekoľko rokov strávila aj na Slovensku. Čiže jej slovenčina je lepšia ako moja. Má magisterský titul v neurovede a v práci sa venovala rozvoju človeka po menopauze a andropauze, to znamená na začiatku 3. veku. Kľúčová otázka je, keď toľko energie venujeme mladým ľuďom a deťom, tak prečo rovnako sa nevenujeme aj seniorom? Vo finále, ako povedal Swami, to nie je o kvantite rokov, ktoré prežijeme, ale o ich kvalite. Keď som začala robiť lekcie jogy online, tak to vôbec nebolo jednoduché. Ľudia neboli zvyknutí dívať sa na mobil, pozerať na obrazovku. Mala som problém interagovať, sledovať svojich študentov. No a keď sa opatrenia uvoľnili, tak som navrhla praktizovať jogu v prírode na čerstvom vzduchu a začali sa prvé kroky praxe, ktorú dnes nazývam walking yoga. Trošku ťažšie preložiť do slovenčiny, ak Daniela máš alternatívu v slovenčine, ale možno yoga v krokoch, yoga na prechádzke, prechádzajúca sa yoga, niečo na ten štýl. Išli sme do prírody a pozerali sme sa veľmi vnímavo okolo seba. Povedala som svojim žiakom, vnímajte nové veci, a tak sa nám stalo po chvíľach začudovania, čo to vlastne chce, tak sme začali objavovať krásne nové veci v veciach, ktoré poznáme, dívať sa novými očami na známe veci. Učíme sa na našich lekciách flexibilite, prispôsobeniu sa realite. Keď sa dalo ísť von, praktizovali sme na vode, na lodiach. Jednoducho boli sme v konexii alebo v spojení s prírodou, v prírodzenom prostredí. Nerada by som ďalej hovorila, povedala nám Daniela, veľmi rada vyzdielam svoje sekvencie a podelím sa o svoje poznanie s každým, ktorý bude mať o ne záujem. Takže veľmi pekne ďakujem a teším sa na ďalších speakerov. Let me turn into English, and our next guest online, who would be Swami Sachidananda, and Swami is practicing Ayurveda and yoga therapy. In a yoga school in Rishikesh, India, which is called Divine Yoga. Swamiji, the floor is yours.
Hari Om, Namaste to all of you. Greetings from Rishikesh. I would like to start with some prayer. Just closing our eyes and chanting one Om times together. Let's take a deep breath in. Inhale. Om Anandam Anandakaram Prasannam Jnanaswarupam Nijabodharupam Yogindramidam Bhavrogavadam Srimad Gurum Nityamaham Namami Srimad Gurum Nityamaham Namami Srimad Gurum Nityamaham Namami Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So namaste again to all of you, and thank you for all of and especially to Anaji inviting us to give a short. I think the time is just 15 minutes has been allotted, and the topic is about the yoga and yoga therapy and the Ayurveda. As earlier, one of our friend, Dr. Kashinath G has mentioned about the, already he has covered some of the things that what Ayurveda is and what we deal with the Ayurveda, about the three dosas he has spoken about, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. And the yoga is giving a very good solution for such kind of people. Yeah. So I was just in a short time, I'm going to take you into the, would I will be able to share the screen? Yes. So in nutshell, I would say that how the problem comes in our body. These are the two different approaches. The yogic approach, and according to the modern time, we can understand the allopathic approach. When we speak about the allopathic approach, when there is a problem into the body, we try to give and to solve the problem with the tablets and the pills and the injection with various things. When it comes about the yogic solution, the yogis, they see that these 5 elements, our body is constituted of 5 elements, as we already have Dr. Matraji has mentioned, that when these 5 elements get imbalanced in our body, and the most fundamental element is our space. How the disease comes in our body because of the disturbed space in our body. That space in our body get occupied by inflammation and the various other things. Now to bring back to the natural health, what we need to do, we need to open more and more space in our body. And that's the role of our yogic practice also. Our asanas we do practice, our pranayama we do, the meditation we do. The main purpose behind this, to create the more and more space in our body, because our body is made up of 98% of the space element. The space is dominating. If we see our eyes, behind the eyes, there is a space. That's why we are able to see. If we see in our ears, there is a space in our ears. That's why we are able to hear. If we are able to breathe, because there is a space in our nostril, we are able to breathe. We are able to eat because there is a space in our mouth. That's why we are able to speak and eat. Similar way, we see the throughout, from the top of the head down to our feet, all the muscles, the ligaments and the tendons in the center, they are empty. There is a space. So in every cell of our body, there is dominated by space. So in yoga, when we say, or in the Ayurveda also, when we are dealing with different methods, what we are doing, we are creating the more and more space in our body. This is the yogic approach. Yes, the allopathic approach is to deal with the first with the earth and the water element into the body. That's why they give these pills and the tablets and the various kind of things. And this is the very fundamental difference between the two approaches. Even if you have the headache, if you go to some allopathic doctor, they will give the tablets to you. But if you go to the Ayurvedic doctor or any of the experienced Vaidya, they will see first your belly, your abdomen. Is it good? Elimination is happening good? Is there is enough space into the body, or this space has been blocked or clogged or has been interrupted? There is no right flow of information into the body through our nervous system. Through our nervous system, we know there is a central nervous system which is communicating with our brain. If there is any interruption is happening into that information also, then our body slowly and gradually start getting into the disease and decaying. So the yogic approach is to open that space so that there is a free flow of information, and whatever the blockage is there into our energy channels, nadis, into our ligaments, into our nervous system. So the yoga, when we say, is the way to open those different energy channels and different these organs to create the more and more space. So here already Dr. Metriji has spoken about the three kind of Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Here I would like to share with you what kind of practice, asana practice, we can give to such kind of people. Here, the first thing, let's say we want to balance the Vata. So what kind of practice we can offer them? Because Vata, we know already, the person becomes airy. Yes, if we look to the signs of the Vata, the airy, windy, and the person will be dominated by a lot of thoughts, and then the doubt and anxiety and all these things is the byproduct of that. The mind gets stuck somewhere into the past in any kind of experiences and the memories and the thoughts, and then they cannot be stable even into the sitting posture also. Yes, and if the Vata has aggravated into the body cannot be stable. When the body cannot be stable, the mind also cannot be stable. So what kind of yoga practice we give to them? So here is just to give the idea, grounding. We need to bring the grounding into their life, some warming practice and the routine in their life, because the Vata, we know, the fluctuating. So there, and I have seen in many of the life of the people, usually the Vata people, they tend to skip the breakfast, but that is very important for them. And there you will see in their life, you will find the routine is missed. So in terms of the food also, we bring the routine in their life. And what kind of practice? The holding the asanas for longer time is not in the life of those people. Not that this vinyasa and the flow yoga and this kind of yoga practice is not going to help. What kind of yoga practice is going to help? That they learn to hold the posture and stay for longer time, and then making use of some deeper and longer breath. That will bring the stability in their posture into the asana, and consequently it will bring the stability to their mind, reduce the Vata, excess of the Vata in their body. Yes. Another thing here, we need to understand this working towards gentle movement, grounding and balance. Here is a one word. This is very important for all of us to understand. This the exhalation, prolonged exhalation. When the person is too much into the anxiety and the thought and nervous, and the their sweating start happening into the nervous system. The body start becoming numb. The PNS means bringing the person into the parasympathetic nervous system. And there is a two kind of nervous system. We have sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Body slowly and gradually lose this natural mechanism, which we call homeostasis. Now, to bring the person back into the parasympathetic nervous system, what we need to do, prolong the exhalation. Give them practice for longer exhalation. If the person is taking the breath 3 minutes, ask them to exhale for 3 seconds. Ask them to exhale for 5 seconds and 6 seconds. That suddenly brings the calmness and the quietness into the nervous system and helps them to focus and grounded. So this is one. Now, another word here, this is, we know, stress reduction, definitely we need to give in their life. Building proprioception. This is a new medical term we use nowadays in the research into the yoga. Proprioception. Proprioception, what does it mean? When we are staying into the asana, in the posture for longer time, paying attention to our internal sensation and vibration into the body. Proprioception is when we are moving our body into the space, is the movement of our body into the space and becoming aware of that movement and then observing the sensation and vibration, allowing their mind. Because when the person gets excessive vata, there is a lot of thoughts is going to be. Now, how to reduce that? Allowing them to be present fully and observe that what's happening in that body. So that kind of practice, grounding practice. And just I'm giving a nutshell to you and take it because of a lack of time. Now, another thing, if the person is, let's say, pitta get aggravated. So what kind of practice we can give to the pitta people? As we know about the pitta, what happens? Inflammation. The inflammation can happen in the life of these people. Because the pitta people, we know, they would like to eat spicy food. They are pretty much angry. The Rajasic energy, we call it kind of energy in their system, that's going to be dominated. So balancing the pitta, how the yoga can help. The yogic exercise, which are cooling, calming, and moderate. So balancing the heat into the body and mind. How we can again balance the heat into the body and the mind? Again, with the harmonious breath and prolonged exhalation. And usually this is a very interesting thing we will understand. Who are pitta kind of people? They like to practice this Ashtanga style of yoga or Vinyasa style of yoga, hot yoga. Actually, that is opposite to their nature. Because already they are pitta nature, the pitta prakriti of the body. And on the top of that, if we want to practice that kind of a strong practice, Vinyasa style of practice, is going to pitta more. I saw some of the yoga teacher, they get the acidity problem, usually who are into this, already the body, nature of the body, the constitution of the body is the pitta, and they practice such kind of practice more quite often in their life, and they get this problem with the acidity and inflammation very often. So what kind of yoga practice we can give to them, which is again helps to reduce the heat into the body? So playful practice, soft flow, and being compassionate. Because these people, they easily can get short temper and easily can harm other also. They can say, easily getting irritated with the little things and with the other people also. So we bring the practice in their life, which is soft flow, not the strong flow, and self-compassion meditation. Being compassionate about themselves and being compassionate about other people. Now this is one kind of pranayama. There is a various kind of pranayama, and this Sitli Pranayama is not spoken much. But for those kind of people, this Sitli Pranayama is a very good practice. That helps to calm down the pitta heat into the body. And again, of course, stress reduction also we need to bring in their life, and the mindfulness. The mindfulness, allowing them to be aware of their body and the mind phenomena, what is happening inside their system, and that can make them more mindful towards themselves and at the same time then other people also. Now balancing the kapha, what kind of yoga practice we can give to them? There they need some movement. You know, the kapha is heavy. The kapha element, when we say it's constituted of water and earth, so it brings the heaviness in our body. And the way to move this heaviness, what we need to do, need to bring some movement in their life. It brings the heaviness, and the kapha, excess of the kapha, it brings the inertia into the body, the laziness. They easily don't want to move. So we need to bring some movement in their life. And what kind of yoga practice? Like really strong practice. For these kind of people, these modern day, there are some style of yoga, which we call Ashtanga and the Vinyasa, Hatha Vinyasa. Really, they need to move, put the body into the momentum, because the energy gets stagnant into these kind of people when the kapha becomes excess. So bringing daily stimulation to avoid the stagnation of energy. Build up heat. Why to build up the heat in their body? Remember, before the pitta, we said we need to reduce the heat because there is an inflammation into the body. Now we are speaking about building up the heat in the excessive kapha people. Why we need to build up the heat? Because that will help to dry the excess of the kapha from the body. And this is like reverse. We said before, in the vata and pitta cases, prolonged exhalation or rhythmic breathing is going to help. Here, inhalation. Sympathetic nervous system need to be activated. And sympathetic nervous system get activated by holding the breath, inhalation, and prolonging our inhalation and holding the breath. The bandhas, like bandhas also we apply. They need the activation of the sympathetic nervous system. And these purifications, the kiryas, these are various kind of kiryas we know: cleaning the nose, yogic way, and the ears, the mouth, kunjal kirya. This all is to remove the excess of the kapha in addition to our yoga practice. So this in nutshell, I wanted to say about that, how yoga is giving alternative ways. Yes, in addition to the lifestyle and in addition to the various other things earlier has been spoken about the food. With the food we cure this excessive cases of the vata pitta kapha, and with the yoga practice also. With the yoga practice, the meditation, and through the pranayama also, to a very great extent, we can help them to bring the balance in their life. So that's I wanted to give in nutshell. This is just a short idea. So thank you and namaste to all of you in giving me this opportunity to share with you some of the point about the yogic life. Thank you and namaste. Hari Om.
Swami, thank you very much for a deeper excursion into the practices that yoga may provide to people with the excess of the different types of energy. Poďakujem Swamimu Sachidanandovi z Rishikeshu z Indie, ktorý ponúkol viacero prístupov, akými yoga môže pomôcť pacientom podľa toho, čoho majú v tele prebytok, akému typu energie. V alopatickej klasickej medicíne sa lieči tabletkami. V jogovom prístupe sa berie do úvahy rovnováha medzi 5 konštitutívnymi prvkami, predovšetkým priestoru. Priestor tvorí v našom tele až 90%. Dýchanie, jedenie a ďalšie životné funkcie sú umožňované priestorom a keď je priestor infikovaný, tak samozrejme je problém a riešením podľa tohto prístupu je otvoriť viac priestoru v našom tele. Ak boli napríklad hlava, tak jogový doktor sa pozerá hlavne na brucho a snaží sa otvoriť energetické kanály. Následne Swami poskytol rôzne prístupy podľa toho, čo treba dať do rovnováhy, ak je prebytok vata, pita a kafa, ak je to v prípade straty rovnováhy mysle, nervozity, to znamená vata, akú asana prax poskytnú takýmto ľuďom prístupy na uzemnenie, oteplenie a cvičenia. Súčasťou bude predĺženie výdychovej fázy dýchania a predstavil novú výskumnú prax vybudovať tzv. Propriocepciu. To je pohyb tela do priestoru a uvedomenie si vnútorných pocitov a vibrácií na vytvorenie rovnováhy pri zápaloch, to znamená pita. Je potrebné vyrovnať teplo v tele a v mysli, takže to predpokladá, je nevhodné v tomto prípade praktizovať silové štýly jogy, napríklad aštangu. Predpokladá to naopak o ochladenie, upokojenie a moderáciu. Treba redukovať stres, praktizovať uvedomenie, prístupy mindfulness. Takíto ľudia sú s prebytkom pita, sú ľahko iritovateľní. Treba im naopak ponúknuť jemný flow, súcit, empatiu. A v treťom slede na rovnováhu kafa, ktorá je ťažkou energiou, vodnou energiou, tak je potrebné redukovať prebytok kafa cez vysušenie, stimulovať pohyb a poskytnúť expresiu alebo vyjadrenie. Takíto ľudia potrebujú pohyb, sú ťažkí, potrebujú zvýšiť teplo, nie znižovať ho, potrebujú silu, fyzickú aktivitu a prekonať stagnáciu v ich tele z tejto ťažkej energie. Nie je dôraz na výdych, ale naopak na nádych a udržanie dýchu alebo udržanie nádychu, udržanie vzduchu a potom rôzne praktiky očisťovania. Tak, let us move to another guest that we have, and that's Dr. Dhananjai Kumar Srivastava from India. He was already in Slovakia, I must say, for a workshop about pulse diagnosis, in which he is a prominent expert. He is an awarded, well-known international Ayurveda physician in North India. He's also based in Rishikesh, Uttarakhand, Himalaya region. He is an MD in Ayurveda and practicing since for 25 years. Ayurveda to treat and cure diseases of lifestyle disorders and hard to cure health issues. He provides knowledge of Ayurveda in Europe since 2008. through workshops in pulse diagnosis in countries ranging from Switzerland to Poland, Austria, Spain, Netherlands, and Slovakia, Ghana for many years. He's also faculty vice president in the Indian Medicine Board in the local government, recipient of many national and international awards. And so Dr. Srivastava, please take the floor now.
Thank you very much to Slow India Society to inviting me to say something about Ayurveda in this present scenario. I feel very fortunate that I am presenting Ayurveda even in India and Europe with the successful full step. And now everybody is asking at this time, what is relevant of Ayurveda in the current scenario? I must say, Ayurveda relevant is always fruitful, 100% appreciating and useful for the humankind. Ayurveda, which is the mother science of all the health system in the world. And nowadays the world recognize what is the need of health and happiness. And if you are talking to development of the modern medicine, they are treating only body. But now in Ayurveda and Yoga, if we are getting together benefit to the people, then we can found we can treat whole system of the mind, body, and happiness through Ayurveda. So today is the time to share you something about the health, happiness, and wellness through Ayurveda from Rishikesh. So namaste and welcome to all of you who spend time for getting something more valuable things by the Slope India platform. Again, I thank you very much. So Ayurveda, it is not needed. You know, the WHO say that we have to learn to live with this virus in Corona time. But that is important things. Ayurveda always taught about what is correct lifestyle to the human personality to save their happiness, their health, and their all the successful way, what they want to wish, what they want to live. Now in Corona time, that is very good that all people understand what is health preventive models for our life. As you know, the big to big country who is blamed to be biggest in the world and biggest medical system, they are existing. But what Corona show, they are nothing, and their severity of the death and the morbidity and every tough condition they are facing. And in India, like a big population and the big country, we are very much safe and healthy. Our death rate and critical condition, suffering condition is among best safe country in the world in this Corona time, if we are comparing it with the population of our nations. So we are lucky that Ayurveda is our root science, and more than 65% people is enjoying the life with the help of the Ayurvedic philosophy, with the help of the modules of the daily regime, with the help of the Sadvit Achar, with help of the many small health pockets information, which we receive from our parental information, our teacher information, and our bookish knowledge. So Ayurveda is the science which is not only treating to the ill people, sick people, no. Ayurveda also care for the healthy people. And our aim and object is Swasthasya Swasthya Rakshanam Aturasya Prashmanam Cha. So that is the concept of the word ancient healing system Ayurveda, First we want to be care for a healthy people, and if the person is going sick, then how can we cure the disease from the root level? And nowadays everybody is just considering to treat the personal body. Our body is not only should be healthy, it is important that our mind should also be healthy. Our society should also be healthy. Then our success, our wellness, we can feel that we are approaching up to the best level. That's why in our Sangitas, they clearly mention Sarirendriya Sattvatma Sanyog, means our body is not only the physical body, body, mind, sense, and soul. We are the combination of that. And there is a possibility to health scenario and the happiness scenario should be together always. Then our success of sickness, success from sickness is in our hand. And you know, now this is the Corona time. And this time I want to share you some 5 steps of the health and happiness and wellness, what you should do. If the people is not in India, they have not possibility of the taking variety of the herbs, then they can take it care from their houses, their all the happiness models. So in this way, you know, the health definition in the world was entirely different. They are saying the absence of disease is called health. That was the definition of the health in the Western culture. But in the 1948, the World Health Organization changed that definition, and they told health is not absence of disease. It is completely well-being of social, mental, spiritual happiness. That is called health. And you can compare how 5,000 years ago, our rishis, our masters, they told that the health is not only absence of disease. They create the definition of health. Samadosa, samagnischa, samadhatu, malakriya, prasanna atmendriya vana, swast it vidyate. Means health is not only absence of disease, it is completely well-being of mental, social, spiritual well-being. So we are talking about Atma, the soul. The Western culture is not very found for that, but in our tradition, in our philosophy, we well known about the Atma and we are doing care for that. And that's why we are doing the best for healing inside we are not going to heal only the cellular things. And nowadays, as a doctor, which I'm practicing from 25 years, we are not making diagnosis only with the Vata, Pitta, Kapha. That is the things. But in Ayurveda, we have the different models of the treatment scenario, which we are taking of the Sattva Chikitsa treatment, the Vipassana treatment. So that is the way how we should consider of a healthy body. And in that, we have short time, so I want to say something about your 5 steps of the protection of your life, which give you health and happiness. So in this 5 step, the first step, just like everybody want to protect the outer surface. So for the prevention and protection of our outer surface, Ayurveda claim to protect your body with oleation. To apply oil in your body, oil should be mustard oil, cow ghee, or olive oil, sunflower oil. What oil you have, they have the medicinal use, and you should use to protect your physical layer. This is my first protection step. So if you are going to the bathroom, you apply the oil in whole body, and also you care for your sense organ. Put oil in your nose, put oil in your ear, put oil in your eyes. Some people will surprise how we are using oil in eyes, but we have the treatment, we have the Panchkarma way. When we are doing the Akshitarpan, then we are using the ghee in eye to make a layer protection to protect the eyes. And if you don't like to use the ghee in your eye, you can use the rose water, many things, but it is needed to put oil in your nose. Nowadays in Corona time, our Ayush ministry, the Ministry of Ayurveda and Yoga and Homeopathy, Naturopathy, they sent a guideline to all the national people to put oil in your nose to protect from the coronavirus, because when we are putting oil in our nose, then we are protecting our whole upper system of the body. In Ayurveda, we say, Naso Sirsa Dwaram. This nose is the door of your brain. So whatever going wrong pathology in your brain, that is the root way of the nose. So if you are doing coating in your nose, then you can feel that any kind of the pathology, any kind of virus, bacteria, any fungal, any pollution, they will stuck in your nose and not enter in your body, and you can save your body with the outer pollution, outer infectious things. The whole world protect the things to make the mask, and Ayurveda explain it very earlier, how we can be protected to apply the oil in our surface, in our nose, in our eye, in your ear. That is the part of the abhyam. And also for the lifestyle diseases, if you will see in this Corona time, when we protect ourselves with a mask, many diseases, we get away from those time. We not suffer. Like in India, the seasonal time, the seasonal fever and different kind of the flu, they're not affected to our personal body because we do care for that, and we protect ourselves with the oleation and use the mask to protect from the coronavirus. So in that protection, we also get protected from many other things which can create disease in our body. So that was the first step. You should do oleation, massage in your body. When you are going to bathroom, apply the oil in whole of your surface of the body, and then take shower, use the oil. And that was my first protection step. Now I'm coming in the second protection step for your health and happiness. The second step is the Agni. Ayurveda says wonderful things for the Agni. Agni is the very important role. If it is weak in your body, you should ready for the many of the diseases. But if it is strong, you are the blessed person and you are happy and healthy forever. In Ayurveda, we have the many Agnis. We have the 13 Agni in our body. One is the Jatra Agni, which we consider the digestion, the best of the metabolism. Then we have the 7 Dhatu Agni and 5 Panch Mahabhuta Agni. So I'm not talking about all, but we should focus for the digestive fire. That Jatra Agni should be strong, and what we are eating, that should be like easy to digest, and it should be seasonal vegetable, seasonal fruit. We should not eat the hard fruit or food which is old and preserved things, the fast food, which is not easily digested in our gut. So if the food which we are taking, it is not digested, it converts into the ama. And I always say, the ama is the mama, the mother of all the diseases. So we should eat adequate quantity, which should digest easily and transfer the nutrients to your body, to mind. and you feel healthy and happy. So that is the Agni, which we should care for all the things. And also, I always advise to keep your Agni stronger. So we have the many herbs like in the medication form, Chitrakadi Bhatti, Lavan Bhaskar, and many things. But for you people, it is needed to be protect and prevent from the food scenario. So always cook the food and use it in the same day. Don't use any food which is kept in freezer and you think that it will be hot with a microwave and then we can eat it easily. So my dear, this is not going to digest 100%. This is the big issue. What we are eating, it is not digested. If it is digested only 80%, then 20% ama, which is stored in your small intestine, that is the part of the toxins, and it will be create sickness and it will be decrease the power of your all internal body. So always focus what you are eating. And one thing I want to say, the food is not only what you are eating with your mouth. The food is always what your eye is eating. I think you understand what I want to say. The food is also what your mind is eating. The food is also what temperature your sense organ, your skin is eating. That should also sattvic, that should also pure, positive, without jealous. So you see the good things, you eat the good things, you think the good things, you feel the good things. That is your complete food. And if your behavior is working like that, then you can feel in our food and our dincharya is going to be daily resume in the best performance. And for the food, you should always take it carefully. Eat the food when you feel hunger, not eat the food when the time is coming. So always give time to digest the food what you eaten and give gap between the two food. 5 hours to 6 hours, it is needed in the daytime. And always eat food in the daytime, not eat food in the late night. So that is important. The food is not only for your physical body. And if I will ask to you, what is food of your mind? Because your body is not only single body. You are collaboration of the happy mind with healthy body. Then you are the complete man. And if I am asking what you eaten for your body, you can tell a lot of things, fruit and vegetable and many things. And if I will ask what you eaten for your mind, then I think the people will think many times, what is the food for mind? This bread, butter and fruit is not food for mind. The food for mind is laughing, singing, music, reading, good book reading. And also here we are saying satsang means the talking with the good people, nice people. This is the food for mind. Pranayama is the food for mind. Meditation is the food for mind. And also all the things which give happiness, vibration, without eating anything in your stomach is the best food your mind. So always you try what you are eating for your mind. Nowadays, everybody is suffering from the criticism. Every person has the critic. The problem with the husband, problem with the wife, problem with the father, problem with the children, problem with the boss, problem with the worker, officers, everywhere. And if I will ask, what is antidote for the criticism? Because the person is wake up in the morning and feel so many problem with the daily routine. So Ayurveda always explain the criticism can be changed only with the antidote of the appreciation. So appreciation is the antidote of criticism. And if you appreciate to the people, I always in my hospital educate to the people, and I always give my lecture in many European countries. And I teach them, how can you reduce your stress level, your fear, your anger? Everything is in your pocket. So try to make a strategy to give appreciation to the people. And you must note that every day, 10 to 15 appreciation must go through your mouth, through your mind. When you wake up in the morning, you appreciate to your partner, you appreciate to your children, you appreciate to your parents, if parents with you. And when you are going to office, you appreciate to your boss. If you have not good relation with your boss, then you are going to office, you are doing work together, but your harmony is not exactly blessed with them. So it is important to not only greet them, good morning, boss, good morning. Good morning is everybody is saying, but you say something more than the good morning, like in appreciation. How beautiful thing. How beautiful your suit is like. Boss, you are looking very smart. Your pen is very nice. Your face is shining. Anything you speak like that and go to your chamber to do your work. Believe me, if you are doing 15 days to 1 month this practice to appreciation to the people who is not in your favor and anger with you, definitely he will change their behavior and you will be lovable people for those, and your bond connection will be very strong. So appreciation is need to make this art in your mind. And you know, when we are stressed, a lot of chemical things secreting in our body. And in Ayurveda, we have the Achar Rasayan, our ethics, our sadbrit, our lifestyle, our talking, our dancing, what should be in which platform and which standard, it is giving a best energy to you. If you are going on the street and you see the plant and the plant is beautiful green, please appreciate what the nature gives the beautiful green color. If you see the rose, you appreciate what the beautiful red color, what the beautiful yellow color, how the nature is sky is the blue. Everything what is coming in your eye, if you appreciate, believe me, your stress level, your fear, your doubt, your psychosomatic disorder reduces very fastly. And in my hospital, I make it practice with many people who got their diabetes, their blood pressure reduces. And it is the miracle for the modern medical science. Our behavior, our psychosomatic energy, how can treat the lifestyle disorder that we are saying and we are doing the things. So that is important, whatever you want to live and how you want to go. So that is the way, the laughing. Every day you create to laugh with 5 people. Invite them in your house and invite them for the tea and say, okay, we will just laugh first and then drink the tea. So every 5 days you convert, change the place, different houses, and you will see laughing together is the very good energy, and that reduces many stress, many trauma, many previous thought, previous bad memories can reduce by excess of the laughing. And laughing is the power of only human being. Ayurveda explain it very nicely. No any animal or bird or any insect or anything can laugh in the universe. Only the God give this blessing to the human, to me, to us, and we should laugh. Nowadays, we are missing our laughing strategy. We are not laughing regularly. And you see how the small children is laughing, is weeping, without any fear, without any boundaries. But when we will see when you laugh last time very loudly, then we will see, oh, maybe the 3 month, 4 month ago when our friend was there. So that creation of the God we are missing, and we are not developing our scenario. We are losing our asset, what we have. Now for the laughing, we are creating the laughing club. That was the natural gift of the God to our body, but we miss this. So that we are talking about something, the protecting layer. So that was the second, to prevent the ojas. The third layer is ojas. And we have, a philosophy of the Agni and Ojas. In Ayurveda, we are not talking too much about the immunity, but our Agni and Ojas, if it is strong, then we are the healthiest people. And creating our Ojas in the good way, I want to give you some tips because time is short. So in every country, every house, you can collect something. I want to give you the 5 things which you can eat and you can increase your ojas. So that the 9 regimes, you take the 9 regimes, 7 elements, and 5 brown pepper. If you have not brown pepper, you can use the black pepper, you can use the red pepper, you can use the green pepper, but take it, and 3 walnut and 2 dates. So listen again, 9 regimes, 9 resin, 7 almond, 5 brown pepper, 3 walnut, and 2 dates. That you put in water for the whole night, soaked it, and in the morning you grind it, and then you will make it the chew and take it in the early morning by chewing this, or you make paste and drink the milk. If the person don't like to milk, then they can drink the warm water, and that give a very strong energy to your body and also increase your immunity. Nowadays, our Ministry of the Health is also promoting for the ashwagandha, pipali, and yasti madhu and the giloy. So, in the Japan, in this Corona time, they do research. Indian Institute of Technology and the Japan scientists about the ashwagandha and the madhuasti, and they found they are the best immunomodulator. So this is talking about only one plant, but in Ayurveda we have thousands of the plant, thousands of the composition, thousands of the preparation of the Ayurveda, by which we can treat the people, we can reduce their difficulties, and in some cases we can cure from the root level. So we should care for that. And for the fourth, we discuss about the mind. The fourth protecting layer is for the mind. In Ayurveda, for the mind, we have the big chapter and the big books. Ayurveda always divided body and mind separately. And for the mind, we have many, many regimes to strengthen them. And the modern world is thinking that the mind is existing in the brain. But my dear, it is not existing in the brain. I remember 7-8 years before, one Canadian person was got the Nobel Prize, which give the participation of the science that the mind exists in the brain. But after 1 year, he realized that the invention was not fine, and he found that mind cannot live in the brain. Brain is so small things. And Ayurveda was saying, mind is consciousness. Mind live everywhere. Each and every cell consists of the mind. Every cell has the mind. The nerve, in the modern medicine, they are going to treat the medicine for the psychosomatic problem in the mind and giving the nerves damaging and reducing their thinking, but they are not curing the personality from the psychosomatic disorder, psychiatric issues, because their philosophy is different. But in Ayurveda, we are developing the mind, we are developing the psychosomatic energy, and also the pranayama, and we should, for the strengthening of the mind, which I told that we should eat properly for the mind if we want healthy mind. Ayurveda always says the healthy body can live only in the healthy mind. So if your mind is healthy, don't care for the body. But if your body is unhealthy and mind is healthy, you are not in dangerous point. But your body is healthy and mind is unhealthy, then you are in the red zone. So try to increase the mind power, try to find the mental issues. And also, the one speaker was talking about the pragyaparad. For that kind of the virus and pandemic things already mentioned 2000 years ago in the Charak Samhitas, they are indicating the reason for the pragyaparad. Our lifestyle, our intellectual power is not good for eating, for thinking, for behaving. So that is the master part for our sickness. So for the mind, the physical exercise is also good. Eating of the, what I told earlier, that is also very nice things. And also, the food is not only for the body, which I told you. Eat food for mind also. And laughing, reading, everything is also good for you. But in the fifth step of your happiness, I will say that is careful for your soul, for your Atma. That is the Atmic power, And for the care for Atma, Ayurveda always explained about the Preeti, joy, love, affections. And we should be respectable for each and every relation, for the teacher, for the parents, for our ancestors, and start loving to your organ. Ayurveda always says that we all are eating the things, but always you think what we are eating, does it good for our heart? Does it good for our lungs? Does it good for our intestine? And the family, if you will go to the Ayurvedic concept, there is a written everything very clearly that our boyfriend, girlfriend, children, parents is not our family. Our family is also, they are the family. The universe is our family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We follow, we accept all the world is our family. But inside our body is also our family. And main part of our family is our lungs, our liver, our eye, our ear, our tongue, our arm, our leg, everything. They are our family. Do we care for our family every day? What we are doing for that family? We are doing best for our children. We are doing good for our partner, our family, everything. But what we are doing care for our family inside existing in our body. This is the only person who will live longer till your death. So try to care for your organ, try to care for your all the body part, to eat and run, exercise, thinking positive, and all the things. Ayurveda is the completely medical science in India, and it is giving equally treatment like the modern medical system. And we have many lifestyle diseases cured. And in the last 12 years, I visited more than 16 countries, and I also do the pulse diagnosis workshop, treat the chronic cases, send herbs from here to those people, and get rid of the diseases through the Ayurvedic way. And many doctors who attended my workshop and the programs, they feel surprised doctor, in Ayurveda way, how you can cure the diseases from root level. It is unbelievable in their system, because their system is start from the sickness, and Ayurveda start from the birth. And not only birth, Ayurveda start 9 months before the birth, when the parents join together and the zygote formation. Then Ayurveda scientist, Ayurveda rishi, Ayurveda master explain how should be the lifestyle of the mother and father, which kind of food, which kind of thinking, which kind of reading, so that our journey start from 9 months before, and we do care to be healthy and happy birth of our children. So we have many scenario, and our way of the living, now the world needed. All the world who is treating only physical body, they are not going to success, because more than 60% in the world is suffering from the psychosomatic problem, and they have no any treatment. But in Ayurveda, we have the majority of the herbs which you can take, you can eat, and you can convert your thought from negative to positive. So nowadays, Ayurveda is appreciating everywhere, and people want to open door for Ayurveda in all country. Our government, India government, is also doing a lot of scientific promotion of Ayurveda, that you can understand Ayurveda with your technology, with your tools, that it is useful for healthy body and happy body. So Ayurveda, Yoga, they all are giving health, happiness, and wellness to you, but you have to follow the daily routine, how we should wake up, how we should eat. And one important thing I want to say, Ayurveda based on the tripod, 3 things of the life, that is the ahara, nidra, and brahmacharya. And that we can explain about the tripod of our life is existing with the food, sleep, and brahmacharya you can consider is anand, happiness, joy. What things is giving happiness to you, that is the brahmacharya. So brahmacharya is happening, happiness, and happy moment of your life. So always try to be happy, and if any negative things is coming, you should away from those things. And for the nidra, in we have not much time, but in the sleep, how it is important for your mind, you cannot imagine. In Ayurveda, the sleep chapter is too much, too advanced, and it is very widely explained about each and every neuron, how it is benefited with the good quality of sleep. And our ancestor is saying, if any person is sleeping non-stop sleep for 7 to 8 hours, he is the healthy person. So that is the word, and Ayurveda explain about all the things to live together, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and we don't think only for the I. If you are thinking for the I, the illness started. But when you are thinking about the we, the wellness started. I for illness, we for wellness. So always think for the we, and we is not only our body, we is our environment, our society, our tree, plant, our air, our water, our ocean. So always think at we and kill I, because I give a lot of damage scenario to your mind, but we always create happiness. So do care for the we and be positive, think positive, live positive. And I am very thankful because in the Slovakia, Bratislava, I give my 3-year continuous workshop, and a lot of people get cured with my treatment in Bratislava. So that platform I got to share my something, Ayurveda, which is best for the humanity, which is best for the treating the lifestyle and chronic to heart diseases. And we are going to success with that. In our Rishikesh Navjivanam Ayurveda Institute, we have the Panchkarma, and we have the good team of expert which we are doing the Ayurveda treatment, and by this success we are able to treat whole world, and God give opportunity to travel more than 16 countries to find out and give happiness, health with Ayurveda. So again, I wish you all the best for your healthy and happy life, joyful life, and all the best to you, and all the best for our Niger. And I will hope in future we will be together and we can make wonderful world, not only for health, with wealth, wellness, and happiness. So we will organize new scenario, we will invent new possibility in the Europe for the treatment aspect, not only superficial message of the Ayurveda and Yoga. This is the time to go deeper and deeper, and how deep you will dive in the sea, you will find the wonderful pearl of Ayurveda for the health and happiness. So thank you very much. All the best. Good luck.
Dhananjai, thank you so much for the presentation. It was long, but it was fascinating. Before I turn to Slovak, please, would you help me fill in 3 blanks that I have there? What was the 5th step that you mentioned? I have the body, Agnai, Ojas, and the mind. And what is the 5th?
Soul. Soul is the Atma. Soul.
Okay. And when you spoke about Ojas, you said 9 raisins, 7 what?
9 raisins and 7 almond.
Almonds. Okay.
Almond. And 5 brown
peppers, 3 walnuts, and 2 dates.
Dates.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Tak máme za sebou prednášku doktora Srivastavu, experta na puls a diagnózu zo severu Indie, v Rishikeshi, takisto v Himalajskom regióne, ktorý je medzinárodne oceňovaným expertom a držiteľom mnohých národných aj medzinárodných ocenení a robil prednáške o pulznej alebo pulzovej diagnóze v mnohých krajinách sveta. Venuje sa 25 rokov Ajurvede a ešte než som sa vrátil do slovenčiny, som sa uistil, aby som vám dokázal poskytnúť dobrý preklad o niektorých aspektoch. Každý sa pýta, čo má Ajurveda čo povedať v časoch pandémie. Ja vám hovorím, že Ajurveda má vždy niečo a v každom čase čo povedať človeku, pretože je matkou všetkých zdravotníckych disciplín a prístupov. Moderná medicína lieči len telo, zatiaľ čo Ajurveda celý systém mysle, tela, šťastia. Ajurveda nie je len pre chorých, ale aj pre zdravých. Stará sa aj o zdravých. A telo, ktoré si treba udržiavať, liečiť, je nielen fyzické, ale vnímame ho holisticky, to znamená v zmysle fyzickej, duchovnej, sociálnej roviny. Doktor Dhananjai nám poskytuje 5 krokov potrebných k šťastnému životu a dobrej pohode a zdravie. Poprvé, treba si chrániť povrch tela. Olejovať si telo, vrátane očí olejom alebo rúžovým olejom a nosa. Dokonca nos je bránou do mozgu a olejovanie nosa môže zastaviť aj koronavírus, ktorý sa takto nedostáva do tela. Po druhé, treba si chrániť agni, živel alebo prvok, oheň, nejesť v žiadnom prípade staré mrazené alebo konzervované jedlo, ktoré sa nevstrebáva naplno a zanecháva toxíny v tele. Treba dať telu dostatok času na strávenie, zhruba 5 až 6 hodín. Jesť len cez deň a nikdy nie neskoro v noci. Pozor, jedlo nie je len to, čo jedia ústa, ale aj to, čo je myseľ. Treba prijímať len pozitívne a dobré veci do seba. Každý deň by sme mali prejsť našimi ústami 10 až 15 ocenení alebo pochvál. Takýchto 15 až 30 dní praktizovania chvály, 10 až 15 krát denne, tým, s ktorými nemáte dobré vzťahy, tak zaručene zmení ich konanie. Všetko, čo oko zhliadne, oceňujte. Dobré počasie, dobrých priateľov, redukuje to významným spôsobom stres. Každý deň sa smejte spolu s 5 ľuďmi. Boh nám ako jediným tvorom vo vesmíre dal ľuďom smiech. Tak si užíme tento dar. Po tretie, zvýšenie ojas. Na tento typ transformovanej energie je potrebné pozbierať 9 hrozienok, 7 mandlí, 5 guličiek hnedého korenia, 3 vlašské orechy, 2 datle, cez noc ich namáčať vo vode a ráno si vyrobiť z toho pastu a zjesť a zapiť mliekom, prípadne vodou, kto nepije mlieko, na silu a imunitu. Po štvrté, chrániť myseľ. Je potrebné zvýšiť silu mysle a odstrániť mentálne problémy. A 5. princíp, starať sa o svoju dušu, atman. A zakončil myšlienkou, treba zabiť slovo ja a vždy myslieť v slove my. Ten, kto myslí ja, myslí egoisticky, ten, kto myslí my, tak myslí na všetkých a z toho prichádza dobro. Tak. And so this was the Slovak summary, and now let us move to our Slovak speakers or speakers living in Slovakia. The first is Miroslav Maduda. He is the director of the Ayurvedic school in Slovakia that we spoke about at the beginning, and the founder of the Ayurveda Association in Slovakia. It is an honor to partner in this conference with Miroslav and his colleagues. We wish him good luck, and let me now turn the floor over to him.
Ďakujem. Ariom, dobrý večer. Pozdravujem všetkých účastníkov tejto Zoomovej konferencie. Ďakujem Aničke a organizátorom, ostatným za možnosť vystúpiť. A keďže Ajurvéda nás učí, že večeru by sme mali prijať do 18. hodiny, keď traviace šťavy pracujú ešte, tak svoj príspevok skrátim a kratučko vám poviem o praktickej veci, ktorá sa mi deje a aký má vzťah s Ajurvédou a s jogou. V poslednom čase prijímam veľa telefonátov a návštev od ľudí, ktorí sú v tom, čo voláme seniorský vek, alebo aj mladší, od 50 rokov, a oslovujú ma ako cvičiteľa jogy alebo ajurvédskeho terapeuta s prosbou o pomoc s riešením ich psychoemočných a následne fyzických problémov. A vždy im poviem s radosťou, že mám pre vás bezkonkurenčnú ponuku. Ajurvéda a joga. A keď sa začnú vypytovať, o čo teda ide, ako to myslím, tak im kratučko vysvetlím, čo všetko dokáže Ajurvéda ponúknuť človeku, ktorý má názov senior, ktorého voláme. Títo ľudia prichádzajú s frustráciou. Nie len z dôvodu separácie vďaka korone, ale takou celkovou frustráciou postavenia ľudí nad 50 rokov v spoločnosti, ktorá je teraz v Európe, kde archetypom a vzorom je mladý, výkonný individualista, pracujúci pre korporácie, a kde sú starší ľudia trošku vytlačení na okraj spoločnosti, kde je určitý strach, keď pozrieme na krivku natality v Európe, kde určitý strach prežívajú títo ľudia z titulu rastúcej zadlženosti štátov a strachu o sociálne fondy, penzijné fondy a tak ďalej. Naviac prichádzajú tie obmedzenia, ktoré vek prináša. A týmto ľuďom s radosťou ponúkam vlastne dvojité riešenie. Jogu a Ajurvédu. Kratučko poviem o Ajurvéde. Ajurvéda si vysoko váži ľudí, ktorí majú skúsenosti, starších ľudí. Má úplne iný prístup ako súčasná moderná spoločnosť. Ajurvéda vie týmto ľuďom ponúknuť fantastické elixíry. Prvý z nich je to, čo ľudia v tomto veku riešia. Organizmus, ktorý začína vypovedať službu, zanesené kĺby, zanesený systém. Tu má Ajurvéda jedinečný nástroj, pančakarma. Pančakarma ako terapia, ktorá dokáže zbaviť jedinečným a bezkonkurenčným spôsobom telo všetkých toxínov, nielen metabolických, ale aj emočných. Dokáže vytiahnuť toxíny z hlbokých tkaní, kde sú uviaznuté, a dokáže ich odpraviť z tela vonku. Naviac má nádhernú časť aštanga Ajurvédy, ktorá sa volá Rasayana Čikitsa. Rasayana je omladzovanie. Omladzovanie znútra. Omladzovanie od bunkovej úrovne. Omladzovanie, ktoré začína vždy dokonalou detoxikáciou. Buď jemnúčkou podľa veku, podľa individuálnej konštitúcie daného človeka, podľa ročnej doby, alebo keď treba takou razantnejšou. Pančakarma v rámci detoxikačných metód je neprekonaná detoxikačná metóda. Rasayana ako omladzovanie nastupuje ako druhý krok. Keď sa odplavia z tela toxíny, automaticky sa telo omladí. Automaticky sa myseľ omladí, lebo je to spojené. Tak ako hovorili rečníci, telo a myseľ sú prepojené. Obnovia sa sily. Obnoví sa chuť do života, obnoví sa pohyblivosť kĺbov, obnoví sa tvorivosť, obnoví sa sexuálna túžba, obnoví sa radosť zo života. To všetko jedinečným spôsobom ponúka práve Ajurvéda a ajurvédske techniky. Naviac Ajurvéda hovorí o 4 zmysloch ľudského života. Prvý z nich sa volá dharma. Dharma zjednodušene pre účel tohto krátkeho vstupu môžeme vnímať ako povinnosť. Povinnosť voči deťom, voči partnerovi, voči spoločnosti, v ktorej žijeme, povinnosť voči sebe samému a povinnosť voči Bohu. Seniorský vek má obrovskú výhodu, že väčšinu tých povinností ľudia splnili. Vychovali deti, odpracovali vo firmách roky, platili dane, napomáhali rozvoju štátu. Môžu z hľadiska toho, že sa dostali do štádia života, kde sú tie väčšinou povinnosti poplnené, obrátiť svoju pozornosť a povinnosť na plnenie voči sebe a voči Bohu, bez toho, aby obmedzovali iných ľudí. Bez výčitek svedomia, bez nejakých negatívnych myšlienok, že to robia na úkor iného. Ďalšia vec, ktorú Ajurvéda učí, je artha, 4. cieľ ľudského života. Artha je vlastne bohatstvo. Bohatstvo zážitkov, bohatstvo materiálne, bohatstvo skúseností, bohatstvo poznania, bohatstvo múdrosti. Ďalší cieľ je káma, užiť si život. Užiť si život nie na úkor druhých, užiť si život podľa určitých predpísaných, s védami daných limitov. A posledný, najdôležitejší je mókša, oslobodenie. No a tu by som sa chvíľku pristavil. V tom duchovnom slova zmysle slovo mókša znamená vyslobodenie z kolobehu zrodenia a smrti. Mokša je vec, ktorú môžeme realizovať práve v seniorskom veku. V zjednodušenom podaní môžeme mokšu vnímať ako oslobodenie od svetských povinností. To nádherné obdobie života, že na nás už nie je vyvíjaný tlak, že na ľudí v seniorskom veku už nie je tlačené zo strany rodiny alebo zo strany spoločnosti. A môžu si dovoliť realizovať toto obdobie ľudského života a túto etapu rozvoja spirituality v sebe samom. Preto ja vnímam seniorské obdobie ako najkrajšiu časť ľudského života, kde človek môže bez egoizmu venovať sa už len sebe a preto všetci tí, ktorí mi volajú a sú nešťastní a nevedia, sú na križovatke, majú nejaký vek a pokiaľ neuchopia toto obdobie života, pokiaľ neuchopia tie 4 ciele ľudského života podľa Ajurvédy, tak sa dostávajú do depresie. Poznáte seniorov, ktorí bezmyšlienkovite sedia na lavičke, pozerajú do prázdna, krmia holuby, alebo seniorov, ktorí s tým, že stratili pracovnú príležitosť, tak sa teraz upli na vzhľad a robia divné veci so svojím zovňajškom, alebo prehnane športujú, alebo starajú sa do už dospelých detí a vytvárajú ďalšie konflikty. To je realita okolo nás. Yoga a Ajurvéda dokáže ľuďom v tomto veku ponúknuť cestu, jedinečnú, plnú zdravia a svetla. Podľa Ajurvédy to, čo my voláme senior, by mal byť akčný človek s prešedinými vlasmi, so životnou múdrosťou, ktorý poplnil svoje životné úlohy tu v tomto živote, konzumuje zdravé jedlo zo svojej záhradky, robí primeraný pohyb pomocou jogových cvičení alebo vychádza do prírody, má radosť zo života a užíva si toto obdobie. A toto by som veľmi rád ponúkol prakticky všetkým ľuďom, ktorí sú na križovatke toho divného veku. Podľa psychológov jedni hovoria, že to začína 60-ke, jedni v 65-ke, to je jedno. Vek a čas platí len v materiálnom svete, takže chcem na záver tohto krátkeho vstupu inšpirovať a ponúknuť všetkým, kto má známy, kto má takých rodičov, alebo kto sám je v takej etape života, aby siahol po joge a ajurvéde, pretože má bez preháňania a bez ega, bezkonkurenčnú ponuku. Ďakujem vám za pozornosť.
Miroslav, ďakujeme veľmi pekne. Miroslav Maduda, the director of the Ajurveda school in Slovakia and the new initiative with an Ayurveda association. Since dinner should be eaten by 6 o'clock and it's 5:30 here in Slovakia, I will make my remarks short. And I'll tell you what I offer, Ayurveda has to offer, and yoga has to offer, especially to the senior people who have come very often to me lately, seniors or 50 plus people for yoga therapy or exercise to seek help. I can say that Ayurveda and yoga are so powerful for seniors who are frustrated by the separation brought about by the coronavirus, but more generally, their position in society, which in the West favors the ideal of a young, performing, highly energetic person, and forgets about the old. The practice of Ayurveda highly respects the old people with their wisdom, and it offers fantastic elixirs, so to speak, for the dysfunctional body. Panchakarma therapy against toxins, physical and mental, has a beautiful part, Rasayana, which revitalizes from the inside. Seniors should enjoy the 4 objectives of human life, so to speak, by practicing dharma, which is a duty. Seniors have fulfilled their duties. They can turn towards themselves and to God without any reproach, without any egoism. Artha, richness. Kama, enjoy life according to Vedic principles. And moksha, the liberation, simply said, from earthly duties. Seniors can turn towards self-realization and developing their spirituality. I can dare to say that the senior age is the most beautiful part of human life, and there's no reason for seniors to feel depressed. They should grasp the opportunity to cultivate themselves without any feelings of egoism. Ayurveda truly offers a unique path full of light and life and happiness. And my senior ideal is the active person who enjoys life. And this is what I offer to yourself, your friends and family. And I would like to invite you to connect. So thank you very much. I'm now receiving a signal from the organizers, an urgent message that in 27 minutes, we will be automatically turned off by Zoom. So I will encourage the remaining speakers to really keep it to maybe 5 or 7 minutes maximum. And I'm sorry for this, but we'll have to go more quickly. The next speaker is Mr. Geza Timchak. He is a founding member and president of 2 NGOs in the field of yoga, the Slovak Yoga Association and the Association for the Advancement in Yoga in Slovakia. Geza, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I thought that as the time is really getting short, that I will not
really sorry for that.
Have to have the possibility to share the joys of listening to this beautiful conference. In fact, yoga is a wide subject, cannot be covered even in one life, not to say in 15 minutes. And what I would like to add is that in spite of the fact that we can keep our body and mind in a quite good condition, even though if we are able to enjoy young age or what we call old age or the age of maturity, we still have to satisfy one basic need of our system, and this is to get answers to the most basic questions with which yoga of different types really tries to deal in a most effective ways. And this is what is the purpose of our life here? In what way can we fulfill this purpose? And in what way can we get well prepared for achieving this task? One of the presenters mentioned that we have to be kind to ourselves and kind to our environment, that we have to think about others. What is nice, but we need to have the means and the instruments how to handle difficult life situations. We have heard that even elderly people like to move, yes, and that this movement may increase their energy and the way how they live, but so many old people part from this life with the sense that they have not yet learned why did they have to live, what was the expected outcome of the life, what would have been the best way how they can serve the community, and globally, in what way can they be a valid part of the life process in the whole on the whole globe. Quite a lot of attention was devoted to this new virus, which is not so new, but it has not been seen in this dimension. And it was also said that we have to work with the body and the mind, with the food which we eat, the way how we get rid of the surplus toxic substance from us. But the main thing is, how can we avoid getting mentally or psychically or spiritually toxic substances, and how can we get rid of them if it manages to enter? I think one of the main problems of today is that there is such a wide range of possibilities. We are being given so many information, some of them useful and some of them useless, that the general person who is not meditating every way, or at least relaxing, or at least doing some pranayama, he has a big problem at the end of the day to sort out the things and remain mentally in a good position and mentally fit, so to say. And you know, average person who looks at the TV and sees every minute coming information regards the COVID, and this many people have died, just this many people are newly diagnosed. Well, this is not really something which can be well tolerated on a long range, because then one gets afraid. And fearlessness is one of the aspects of yoga which has a very strong position with yogis who do not, the real yogis do not fear death. They do not fear anything, because they know that the real essence of yoga is not subject to death, and that discovering this aspect of our inner life, which then manifests also in outer life, is, I think, the main aim of yoga, from whichever end we try to access this problem. So it is not easy to give a recipe. Okay, so if you just sit down for 15 minutes, 20 minutes every day, twice a day, and you try at least relax your mind, because that may not be enough, because someone has already started mentioning the yama and niyama principles. They are also nice, but not easy to interpret. So one needs really a lot of self-effort to get to all the good or all the benefits which yoga can have. And in our courses and in the courses of our member organization, this is what we really try to do. That is, give all those people who attend the courses, whether it's a year-long course, week-long course, or month-long course, or even a weekend course, so that they can have at least a starting energy, and they then refer back that, oh, one weekly course is giving me enough inspiration, at least for half a year or three-quarters of a year, so that I can manage better all the processes which come into my life. So, because the time is short, I would just like to end with this well wish that if any one of the viewers or listeners would be able to take the best of all the presented helps and processes which are given within the couple of hours through which we were sitting here, then I'm sure that we will be in a better position to be more harmonious individuals put into a hopefully even more harmonious outer surrounding, whether it be a community or a society or a global community. So with this good wish, I would like again, thank you very much for this short time I was given, and thank also from my point of view to all the presenters and organizers who took the pain to get together this webinar. And hopefully it will have some continuation where we can learn more or can devote more time to every one of the excellent teachers, presenters, and get even into a better position in this seemingly quite demanding period of life. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Geza Timchak, the founding member and president of two yoga organizations or associations, told us that in every age
Ty hovoríš anglicky a ja som hovoril anglicky.
Okay, now I get it. I'm sorry. Snažil som sa reinterpretovať aj vo svoje vlastné poznámky do angličtiny. Tak toto nejde. Vidno, že už sa prejavuje čas, ktorý máme, ktorý sme strávili spolu, únava, tak sa ospravedlňujem. V každom veku je základná potreba človeka zodpovedať si, aký je zmysel môjho života. Ako naplniť tento zmysel a ako sa na to čo najlepšie pripraviť. Zaznelo na konferencii, že je treba byť láskavý k samému sebe a k ostatným, ale urobiť to takým spôsobom, aby to fungovalo. Ako to spraviť, na to potrebujeme konkrétnejšie návody a nástroje. Skutočným umením jogínov je dosiahnuť život bez strachu, pretože tá esencia, to podstatné, to je mimo obav a mimo strachu. Ani relaxovať a len tak cvičiť nie je dostatočné a vyžaduje si mnoho úsilia vyťažiť všetky benefity, ktoré či yoga alebo Ajurvéda ponúkajú. A v našich kurzoch organizácií v našom networku sa tomuto venujeme, inšpirujeme ľudí, aby vydržali v nasadenom úsilí. Mojím želaním pre vás je, aby sme vyťažili z poznatkov, ktoré sme dostali čo najviac a aby sme dosiahli viac harmónie v našom vlastnom živote, ale aj v ťažko skúšanom čase v našej spoločnosti. Ďakujem organizátorom a speakerom a verím, že bude pokračovanie tohto podujatia a dostaneme viac času aj na výmenu názorov a prezentáciu našich stanovisk. Well, thank you, Geza, again for a presentation, and I'm moving on to Marta Feketeová. Ms. Feketeová, she will present a piece on homeopathy. Marta, the floor is yours.
Dobrý večer, takže letom svetom. Homeopatia ako metóda liečenia je veľmi mladá veda. Oproti Ajurvede a tradičnej čínskej medicíne, ktoré majú tisícročnú históriu, tak homeopatia je známa tak 200 ročia. No napriek tomu je na druhom mieste na svete v počte klientov alebo pacientov, ktorí ju používajú alebo využívajú pri chorobách. No a to svedčí o tom, že homeopatická liečba je veľmi obľúbená a o úspešnosti svedčí aj to, že je v mnohých krajinách aj preplácaná zdravotnými poisťovňami a na druhej strane lieky homeopatické sú veľmi lacné. To je veľmi dôležité, že zlacňujú liečbu a čo je ešte dôležitejšie, že šetria pacienta a tiež životné prostredie. V súčasnosti je to ako vážny problém, pretože životné prostredie je zamorené takými jedovatými látkami, ktoré súvisia aj s alopatickými liekmi. Tieto alopatické lieky sa dostávajú do pôdy, do vody a produkujú ich ľudia, aj zvieratá a rastliny, kde sa používajú nielen alopatické lieky, ale aj chemikálie. A tu by som chcela ako spomenúť, že homeopatia vie pomôcť aj pri zvieratách a vie pomôcť aj pri rastlinách, že nemusia sa používať chemické postreky a vieme ošetriť rastliny, ktoré my potom konzumujeme. No a čím ďalej, tým viac ľudia chcú rešpektovať prírodu a chrániť ju. A homeopatickou liečbou vlastne aj prispievajú k ochrane prírody. Homeopatia vznikla len v 18. storočí a vypracoval ju Hahnemann, Nemec, ktorý už za svojho života dosiahol značný úspech a homeopatia sa rozšírila, pretože to bolo v období, keď vzniklo mnoho veľkých epidémií ako cholera, mor, šarlach, tyfus a tí ľudia, ktorí boli liečení homeopaticky, tam bola úmrtnosť nepomerne nižšia, ako ak choroby boli liečené klasickými lekármi. Princíp homeopatie je, že lieči sa podobné podobným. Tento princíp vlastne sa objavil ďaleko skôr a nájdeme ho už u Hippokrata v 5. storočí pred našim letopočtom a takisto u Paracelsusa v 16. storočí. A čo to znamená? Že symptómy, ktoré homeopatický liek môže vyvolať u zdravého človeka, dokáže vyliečiť chorého. Ale pri výbere homeopatického lieku berieme do úvahy nielen fyzické symptómy, ale aj jeho duchovný a psychický charakter. To bolo tu už niekoľkokrát spomínané. Berie sa do úvahy telesná konštitúcia pacienta, jeho vlastnosti, spôsob života, zvyky, strava, jeho osobné a občianske vystupovanie, chovanie, vek a ďalšie iné faktory. No, homeopatia aj v dnešnej dobe sa stále viac začína používať, pretože cieľom homeopatie nie je liečiť pacienta, ale ho vyliečiť. No a prečo prídu chorí ľudia k homeopatovi? No pretože klasický lekár im v mnohom nevie pomôcť v ich chorobe a užívaním množstva liekov alopatických si privodia ďalšie problémy a choroby. Dnes stále pribúdajú chronické ochorenia, alergie, nádorové ochorenia a iné tzv. Nevyliečiteľné choroby, ktoré klasická medicína nedokáže vyliečiť. A homeopatia má možnosť, ako zvládnuť tieto ochorenia a vyliečiť ich. Navyše, čo je dôležité u homeopatických liekov, že nemajú žiadne vedľajšie účinky a môžu užívať ich dojčatá, malé deti, tehotné ženy, seniory bez problémov. No a hlavným zdrojom homeopatických liekov sú látky z minerálnej ríše, rastlinnej a živočíšnej ríše. Tieto pôvodné látky sú zložitým spôsobom riedené, to je dôležité riedenie, pretože oni niekoľkokrát sa riedia a dynamizujú. A tak konečný stav tohto homeopatického lieku obsahuje len minimálne množstvo pôvodnej látky. Alebo ju neobsahuje vôbec, ale nesie len liečivú informáciu, energiu. Od určitého stupňa riedenia, homeopaticky je to 12C, nezostane v homeopatickom lieku ani jedna molekula pôvodnej originálnej látky. Zostáva len energia. Preto homeopatické lieky nezaťažujú ani životné prostredie, ani nevytvárajú jedy v okolí a sú ako neškodné. Každý človek je jedinečný a individuálny a rôzne vníma realitu, rôzne na ňu reaguje. Preto aj homeopatický liek odráža túto skutočnosť. V praxi sa to prejavuje tak, že pacienti s rovnakými fyzickými príznakmi môžu a spravidla sú liečení rôznymi homeopatickými liekmi, lebo ich vnímanie reality bude odlišné. Homeopatia lieči pacienta ako celok. Nemá lieky na chorobu, ale na celého človeka. Choroba nie je niečo ako choroba orgánu, teda lokálneho miesta, napríklad hrdla, hlavy alebo pečene, ale je to porucha celej osoby, centrálna porucha. Tá prichádza ako prvá a potom táto centrálna porucha ovplyvní tie orgány, ktoré sú citlivejšie. Z toho vyplýva, že pri chorobách v homeopatii má byť liečená centrálna porucha a nie patológia. Podľa Hahnemana, tvorcu homeopatie, choroba je narušenie životnej síly organizmu a úlohou homeopatie je dať ju do rovnováhy a organizmus sa vylieči. A túto myšlienku vlastne spomínali skoro všetci predchádzajúci prednášajúci. No dnes, keď vlastne celý svet ničí covidová epidémia, ľudia umierajú, ekonomiky padajú, ľudia strácajú nádej, homeopatia vie pomôcť viac ako klasickí lekári. Máme covidové prípady, keď hneď v začiatkoch, keď je horúčka a iné sprievodné covidové problémy ako bolesti hlavy, bolesti kĺbov, hnačky, slabosť. Po užití správneho homeopatického lieku pacienti do 1-2 dní sú uzdravení, sú zdraví, sú OK. Ale nie sú to lieky na COVID, ale je to homeopatický liek na človeka s covidom. Takže na záver želám vám, aby ste ostali zdraví a aby ste nemuseli použiť homeopatiu.
Ďakujeme veľmi pekne. This was Marta Feketeová with a presentation of homeopathy. In short, this discipline is very popular, although compared to Ayurveda, which has a 1,000-year tradition, it's around. Homeopathy has been around for maybe 200 years. It is now reimbursed by health insurance in Slovakia. It also protects the environment since it is made of natural ingredients, which is very important. It can also help animals and plants, and it cures similar things with similar things. And this principle was already discovered by Hippocrates. It accounts for physical, but also mental and spiritual factors, which is an idea shared by other presenters as well. It has no collateral negative effects, so it can be taken by kids, pregnant women, and seniors and others, vulnerable populations. It has all natural ingredients, and they are extracted through a complicated extraction process, which leaves a minimum amount or even no amount of the original matter, only energy, information about energy, and the dilution is key. And since the idea was shared that the key to disease is actually a reduction in élan vital, the life power, and to restore that and restore harmony is a key objective of therapy. This is something that connects homeopathy and Ayurveda and yoga. And the last idea was that homeopathy can help during the corona crisis. There were cases where people with high temperature, dizziness, and other symptoms were cured by homeopathic medicines in 1 or 2 days, and without taking any corona-related medicine. Here is the end of our conference. We had other two honorable speakers on on our schedule. One was Dr. Divya on food habits, who is from India and now living in Slovakia and running her medical office in Pucho. And the other is Dr. Vtáčniková, the president of the Slovak Yoga Society and vice president of the Slovak Yoga Association, who kindly agreed that for the beauty and interest of the previous presentations, they would not be featured in the official program, but the presentation by Dr. Vtáčniková will be uploaded on the website slovindia.sk, www.slovindia.sk, and you can view it there, of course. It is our 3 minutes before 1800 here in Slovakia and much later in India, before Zoom officially shuts us down. I would like, on behalf of Anna, on behalf of Ivan, on behalf of the organizers and our partners, thank everyone who contributed it, our honorable speakers, also the Embassy of India to the Slovak Republic, who sent an official letter, the President of the Slovak Republic, who sent her words of regards, to everybody who contributed in such an interesting and fascinating way. We did not have the heart to stop you in your presentations. They were so good. So thank you very much again. The follow-up to this event will be Anna circulating the few words of a declaration that were mentioned at the beginning to the speakers. If you would kindly review them and add your signature, this will be done by email. Another information is that this session was all recorded, and whoever is interested, they can write to slovindia@slovindia.sk or Anna herself to get a copy of the recording. And last but not least, we would like to kindly ask the presenters to send their presentations by mail if you have them. So thank you very much, and have a very good night. Have a good late night in India, and we really look forward to meeting you on another time. Namaste, dovidenia, good night, goodbye, friends.